Tincture Woods. Definitely a space that not a lot of people really land in, especially off rip, especially throughout this series here, knowing that all four, clearly something is happening here, and there's definitely most likely some good loot here. So let's see who takes advantage of it and who is going to get the first eliminations of this first game going into our final bi-weekly solo.
Yeah, and this being the first game of the last chance for these players to get themselves up into the standings, it is going to be a tough one for some of them. And Mike with a beautiful juggle down the mountain here, getting the 1.0 off for the second time around as well. Wufong in a tight situation here. Scale Rush is going to connect into the uppercut. Jumpy LMB, 1 HP in a dream here. The Scale Rush with the spear going to secure it, but DRG Spawn coming in on the third party here, trying to make something happen. Mike going to be able to use that F bubble to gain a little bit of health back, trying to scale up, rush up and away, is going to end up getting the ground into an armor swap here. Fong gonna try and go for some loot. Jump LMB gonna come out from Mike. The 1-2 coming out from Fong into the jump LMB. Mike trying to get the reset into a combo. Isn't gonna be able to connect. Fong flipping it back around with the F ability invested. Triple charge coming in from XY on the other side with that greatsword in hand. Mike trying so hard to get this elimination. Ultimate going to be invested. Gets the stun off onto Fong. Fong getting dangerously low, but XY gonna steal the elimination here. What a beautiful kill steal. Is able to take those purple dual blades away as well. Mike is going to be able to get a huge stun off into a uppercut combo with the longsword. 1.0 is going to miss, is going to connect on the second one though, as AST's XY going to go for a reset. Mike backing off to do the same.
See if he's able to back off that as well here. Yuan is going to be on the pursuit with Mike at hand here. Curious to see if he's actually going to be able to catch him, because knowing Mike, I mean, Mike can absolutely schmoo like crazy, and he is able to catch him from the inside here. Goes on the outskirts of this beautiful cage here. Unfortunately, isn't able to really grasp any more of that. And look at that, Mike is already gone. The movement king, really able to try to see if he can find any type of blunder here. Sadly, has that great shield. I mean, obviously, Yuan having the same thing here. It looks like he's forced to fight. Beautiful back off that with the nunchuck, being able to capture it here. Looks like he's going to try to see if he can go for the stun, but sadly wasn't able to find it. Oh, and he finds the combo break from the blue. It looks like both of them just trying to juggle it out as back and forth as possible here. Looks like Yuan is going to opt out and going back for the re-shield here. And Mike is just going to try to retreat as much as possible here, trying to see if he can find any leeway. He's going to find that airship. That way he can just keep that going. But Yuan is on him here. Yuan has got to be careful. Mike is definitely one of those amazing players here that really knows how to switch this whole dynamic around here. And it goes from having one thing happening to another. It looks like he's able to find a different shield swap here. And just like that, the opportunity is going to be able to be arose, as now he finds the ulti. Yuan's going to pop it here. Gonna keep that same pressure on the Mike here. Mike is just trying to see if he can find anything better here. It looks like he wants to find a better shield just in general here. He just knows that Gray is not going to do enough. He finds the blue. Yuan is going to find it first. He actually steals it from him. And now Mike is on the rough side of this block here, as he is able to at least get a little bit of something here, but not enough. It looks like he's going to pop open for the ulti here, forcing the blinding, and he starts to catch him right in the face here. And he just shuns him with so much light in his eyes, he barely can see. And now Mike is on the other side of this. See just how fast he was able to do that. Now it's time for the switch around. He's able to catch him with the stun here. Almost catches him very dangerously low, but Yuan just has enough to be able to keep the momentum here. He's had the shield swaps. He was able to continue to keep that pressure. He does a good job of it. And just like that, he captures the elimination on one of the top players in this lobby.
Yeah, Mike had a little bit of a blunder there. He did lose his first elimination to XY. He would have had 2 on the board going into that fight. Would have been able to pick up those purple dual blades, and XY just doing a perfect job of capitalizing that purple value on the ultimate as well. If you don't know, the Kylan ultimate scales up in power depending on what type of weapon you have in your hand when you cast the ultimate. So if you've got a purple weapon, you're going to have the purple rarity of the ultimate. If you got a gold weapon, you'll have the gold ultimate, and so on and so forth. So having that purple ultimate damage, really putting in the work for him, able to take Mike down to extremely low. And as soon as Mike comes out of that ult, such a low HP, wasn't able to get much healing off during the ultimate time, and unable to make anything happen. Arano here, though, is coming up pretty close to GG shot. Looks like everybody has backed off for the time being. Nobody really wanting to aggress onto these fights. It looks like CDY can be able to get himself a Moonbane Charm and using it straight away, probably to cover one of his relative gank. Yang has started to spawn, as we've only seen a few eliminations so far. It's been a very, very slow solos game. I think a total of 6 eliminations have happened. Zhang with 2, XY with 2, Mike and Edward both with 1, as we are going to be seeing here now. Bane in hand as well for Zhang if he wants to drop it. I think it is going to go out of time, as we did see the CDY Bane coming up first, as it looks to have himself a complete free Realm of Yang with his Bane. 23 seconds left, dropping on it. He's going to be able to capture that himself, as we are going to be seeing him go for this Realm of Yang. This is it's crazy slow. Usually we see so many more fights happen at the beginning of this game, and it looks like we are going to get to see Shaw versus Arano. Arano taking so much HP from Shaw right away. Shaw bringing it back around. Blue Dagger in hand is going to be able to get enough chip damage to back Arano off. They don't want to get eliminated before getting the opportunity to go into the Realm of Yang, but ASC's XY is going to be taking that damage, and now they're going for the reset. And like they said, even if they get each other super low, they're not going to try to over-aggress onto this fight. XY with one last slash, going to try and send it out. Doesn't get the connect off, but does have his Immortality Blade where he can send as many slashes as he'd like. Is going to be able to knock Aishao out pretty far here. It looks like XY did get himself parried. He doesn't have those dual blades anymore. The purple ones, they are in the hand of Alliance Aishao. Very low in HP here. These two are going to try and continue to go at it outside of this Realm of Yang. XY taking so much damage. The jumping LMB going to come through. F abilities for both of them, but they go into the Realm of Yang without a victor in that fight. Very close to death there, but Hissey's XY, if he gets parried, he's done. He only has the Great Sword. He's got nothing else in his back pocket. Mike with a full arsenal of blue weapons here, blue armor as well in hand, and the rematch begins. Trying to make something happen with the Greatsword against a fan. Not the greatest matchup to have here. Greatsword just being a super heavy weapon, and against a small, fast attacking weapon like the fan, it's not something that you want to be fighting against. As we can see, Mike doing a very good job of weaving and ducking. Focus is going to come out. XY going to pop the F ability to try and avoid that. You're going to see now. Gets hit with the F charge again. Ultimate going to be coming out now for both of these players here. It looks like XY going to be able to get that first successful hit off. Second one going to come through as well. No successful ultimate here for Mike, and it looks like the stuns are going to start to come out though. XY getting knocked back, still has 2 slashes left, is going to be able to connect on that one, getting himself some health back. We are going to see now he's got multiple slashes with his immortality, isn't going to be able to connect on a single one though. Both of these players outside of their ultimates. XY coming down a little bit lower, the slap going to come out, only Greatsword in hand. This is going to be a very difficult task for him to be able to succeed from. He needs to hit a huge charge attack or a scale rush. If he gets a parry off as well, it could be boding in his favor. Mike going to try and go for the heal, isn't going to connect off the heal, trying to make something happen with the Greatsword, but the 1-2's coming out from the fan. XY so low, and Mike putting on an absolute masterclass with the blue fan in hand. Mike's going to be able to pick himself up some purple armor and a gold staff with some extra goodies to go with it, as long as that Vermilion Bird Might buff.
Mike ends up getting a payback, probably one of the best forms of it inside of the Realm of Yang, because not only does he do that, but he gets that Vermilion's Bird's Might. So he has a massive opportunity here, and also forces Zhuan Yuan, obviously, with the timer. So that way it's going to be a really tough time for him here, as he's going to have to force himself to get some eliminations, or at least something of a pick. So that way he can keep himself within this game here. Meanwhile, Shuz is on the pursuit here against Azal, and meanwhile, Shuz, sadly, who lost his Realm of Yang, is going to have to do the exact same thing as well here. He's going to have to capture an elimination as he pops open his ulti here, trying to see if he can capture at least some type of damage here, as 4 more players are going to be around the same rotation here, trying to see if they can capture something here. Chuz doesn't necessarily have to force himself to fight. All he has to do is get one of the soul blooms, and he's back in this game just like that, as Shah gets an elimination on Lipo in the middle of this battle here. Still going to be able to keep the rotations moving as much as possible here. Let's see if we can keep that same momentum going for a lot of different areas here, as Mike will try to roam free as best he can, or as best as possible. Looks like Mike's going to try to see if he can find it, as Zal's going to find himself inside of the cave here. Hopefully tries to see if maybe he can find some decent loot here, but it looks like he's just kind of going through. He's just looking. He's just passing through. Not really here for nothing. He's here for vacation. That's about it. Zal's continuing to be on the pursuit here, but Mike is on it. He wants this elimination. He wants to try to see if he can get any free picks here as possible, knowing that he has that Vermilion's Burst Mine. He has a get out of jail free card here. Beautiful slide all the way down. Not really using too much of his energy here, but now he has to be careful, knowing that JLAS is right there up top here. Oh, and Mike comes through. He dodges from the outside, waits for the opportunity to strike, and he steals the elimination away from the third party. Beautiful timing here, but Chuz is not here for nothing. He's going to come back here, trying to see if he can manage it, but Mike, dangerously low, is going to have to back off this. He pops the ulti in such a beautiful fashion, forcing everyone to scatter as much as possible here. And now Chuz is on the worst timing here, the chopping block that he needs here, as he's going to close it off. Chuz gets so lucky to find a gray shield swap in the middle of all of this madness here. Both of them with so many blue strikes. Mike comes through with the parry, blinds at least 2 to 3 different players here. He's dangerously, no, not looking the best. He gets shroomed out of both sides here, and you won. Comes back with a strike and a finish to eliminate Mike in the middle of this massive moment of epic proportions here. What a comeback coming in from Juan. He was able to find the Soul Bloom, gets it, and also gets payback on Mike. This looks like it's going to be a good series, guys.
And it's going back and forth. XY gets the kill on Mike. Mike gets the kill on XY. We saw a beautiful kill steal coming in there. And it looks like XY was able to come away with the one Soul Bloom. I am not 100% sure which one he did end up grabbing, but we did see Aizhao and Chuzhang going down there very fast, as Aizhao was eliminated by Mike. Chuzhang did get taken out pretty quickly there as well. We are going to be seeing now going to this next Realm of Yang. Looks like Mike ready to make something happen. He's got nunchucks in hand, as well as that gold staff ready to fight if he needs. Looks like we're seeing a purple pole sword drop coming out. I believe Edward, I'm not sure if he's just dropping weapons or if these weapons were just already on the ground as he's trying to kite away here. DRG's Funk ready to fight here. Doesn't look to be going for this Realm of Yang. We're going to see Funk almost able to get Edward into a ball here, as we are going to see him get sent, oh my goodness, into the jellyfish, which is going to cause him poison damage, forcing Edward to try and heal himself up fast. Fung doing a beautiful job of getting himself this reset quickly, as Edward, no ultimate available, might come back to re-aggress this, but it's not the smartest play for them if they're going to be trying to make the play into the rest of this game. Mike getting this Realm of Yang completely uncontested here, as we're going to be jumping through. Looks like he's going to be the first person to land into the Realm of Yang. We're going to be seeing who else will be joining them in a second, but very interesting fight's going to be starting to happen here. 9 players remaining, only 4 to go in the Yang. We're seeing our second player enter, and it's WZ's Arano. Justina versus the Syra. Vulpine Essence available for Arano. So this could be really big for him here. If he gets Mike super low, Mike's going to take the ultra aggressive fight, trying to take Arano out, but the Vulpine Essence will be able to be there to save him if he does make mistakes, although he won't be trying to make them, as Mike trying to come through, gonna get himself parried here, losing that gold staff. That is not a situation that Mike wants to be in here. Get that over the top R&B with the nunchucks. This is going to come through. Ultimate invested now for Mike, trying to see if he can get the dazzle off, and it looks like he was able to get the dazzle. Arano able to dash away though, trying to see if he can get a little bit of healing off, but it looks like he's just been stuck. For Arano has had to use 2 dashes to try and get away from this ultimate here, and now Mike over the top, the 2-1-1 weapon swap combo coming out, as he's going to be able to get so much damage in. Trying to get a combo is Arano not able to connect on any sort of combo here, as Mike just pushing through everything, not giving up prio at all, and the Vulpine Essence is going to come into play here. Arano very low, Trigger going to come through, and he's going to come through with another R&B to make something happen. Charged LMB, sorry, to try and deal some extra damage. Mike, you'll be able to come over with another LMB. and it's 1 HP and a dream for both of these players. 1, 2 coming out. Scale rushes for both of these players. Pistol shot's going to come out, but it looks like Mike with the scale rush into the sky is going to take Arano out. What a beautiful play here as Mike going to pick himself up another gold weapon. Arano with that gold staff does have a very high probability of being able to get himself back into this game with the soul bloom and getting elimination. There are 9 players still remaining in this lobby, so we've got plenty of time to see who's going to come out victorious. Arano on the hunt for a soul.
A lot of time here. Let's see what happens here. Meanwhile, Mike and Yuan, I feel like this is something we're going to be talking about for the rest of the night here. Feeling that both of them are tied up. 4 eliminations here. Yuan with 4, same with Mike. But one of the only 2 that realistically have more than that outside of GP Shaw with 3. But he is going to have to make some magic happen here. He's going to see himself at least outside of the spectrum of getting eliminated here. Unfortunately for Wu Fong, he's going to dip out here with that Justina ult. Doesn't want none of that smoke whatsoever here. Gonna take himself out of the equation here. Has some shields. Is gonna probably start to settle in a little bit, knowing that we still have some time left within our fights. As CDY and Arano are in the middle of fighting. Decent little pick back here ends up backing off that with the pistol. Both of them waiting this out as OUG's Mike starts to come into the mix here. Now he's back on the hunt like always. You know, when it comes to Mike, he's usually always ready for the next battle. Takes his time here with the blue, waiting for the charge strike to happen, and then Arano pops open. Oh my goodness, uses it as an opportunity to freeze CDY. Was gonna possibly maybe attack him in the midst of that, but ends up getting attacked off the back from Mike. In the middle of that, a hectic little area here for a moment, but looks like now they're just kind of juggling back and forth, just trying to decide whether or not they actually want to really be able to push into this. Decides possibly not to. Really going to kind of continue to push forward onto this. Oh, Arano with a beautiful timed parry onto Edwards. Edwards going to be able to do a decent reset here. He's able to pick off the rest of it, but now he's getting caught in a corner here with Mike. Not the best timed moment here, as now he ends up seeing him as well. He pops the ulti here. He's going to try to see if he can get out of this, but no! Arano with a beautiful timed blue LMB just to be able to take the strike out on the other player as well, as now CDY is on the back stretch. He's able to capture free elimination. Now Yuan is on his 5th elimination as well into this. CDY is going to be able to go for the heal. He finds Mike off the back. Beautiful strikes here. Ends up trying to see if he can capture a juggle here, but oh no, he ends up getting out of that as OUG's Mike ends up doing a beautiful parry on the Wufong. CDY says, no, I'm good. You got that, buddy. Trying to go towards this rotation here. Both of them are just kind of juggling it back and forth, not really trying to do too much pressure. Just trying to see who's really committed to it. Because knowing how the rest of these players are going to be able to take forth. Oh, Mike ends up catching him with that beautiful parry here. Goes for the reset. He wants to be able to pursue this as well here, but he knows it's close to the end here. Even if he catches him inside of this corner here, definitely doesn't want to catch him too strong into this. Oh, absolutely misses onto that parry as well here as Arano trying to see if he can claim it, but he ends up capturing it. And Mike, tries to catch him in the corner here with the blue RMB with the nunchucks, but Arano's gonna be able to pop it. Gets outside, he dips out. Mike wants to be able to continue to capture this, but I don't think that Mike was able to find him here. Arano ends up getting out of that pretty safely. From what I can tell here, I take it back. Mike wants this fight. He wants to fight. He said, you gonna fight me, buddy. There is no like, maybe, I'm gonna let it slide. No, this is why Mike is one of the most dangerous players inside of this game today. He is the lion. He is the Akos. He is the absolute detriment that this game is. He is the problem. And he finds it, he focuses it, and he absolutely puts in so much time and effort and gives everybody a run for their money. And that's exactly what he's doing inside of this. He gives nobody no breaks. He gives nobody no hesitation. He pops it open, trying to catch him with the blue LMB. Arano might get eliminated from this. He sadly had to swap it for the gray LMB, and now Arano is on the worst type of timing possible.
Yeah, Arano not in the greatest situation here. Great armor swap was available for him, so he did take it to make sure he still had a standing chance in this fight. But now, if he does get the ability to go for a heal, it won't be enough for him to be able to combat with all these players on purple and gold armor. Arano doing an amazing job at kiting this out, though. Mike not letting up on the pressure, knows that the ultimate is burned. 80% left on the ultimate. If he can kite for a little bit longer, Arano will be able to get himself back into this, and the 1.0 is going to come out from the longsword vertical. And now Mike still trying to see if he can make something happen on to Arano. Arano extremely low here. You're going to see Mike able to break through it. F ability invested 95% on the ultimate for Arano. As soon as his ult's going to come up, we're going to see him pop it here and try and put a bit more distance between him and Mike. Here we go. Ultimate going to come out. Arano just needing to back off of this. We're seeing Mike doing a very good job at tracking, though. He's able to understand almost exactly where Arano has gone, following and picking him up. We are going to see another armor swap coming into play here, as the last of his freezes have been used. Arano doing a good job. He has gotten himself pretty far away. Mike looking to go for the heal here. Is just going to go for a quick bit of a reset while Arano hiding down below. As we're going to take a look to the other side, it looks like ASE's XY ultimate popped and ready here, as he did get that spirit well, giving him that extra ultimate ability. He pops it, refreshes immediately after claiming that spirit well. He now has another ultimate available if he so needs, knocking DRG's Fung into the air off of that with the poison damage that's coming out as well. Fung could be a sure elimination here, and it looks like, oh my goodness, TE's Wufang going to steal the elimination right out from underneath ASE's XY. Not too happy about this. He had to invest the ultimate, the second ultimate, mind you, to be able to come away with this elimination. So now making TE's Wufang the target of the lobby, one of his priorities. Very low HP now on Wufang. The lobby might be able to catch on to this. Mike certainly did see a Justina low, and we know he's been targeting those Justinas out, as we saw earlier when he was fighting against WZ's Arano. Looks like we're going to be chasing through ASE's XY and Mike from OUG, going to try and make sure that Wufang does not have a standing in the rest of this game. Into the depths of the Bane, as well as watching out for those poison jellyfish. This is going to be a very interesting escape, as we are going to see the poison getting popped here, and I believe Wufang did get hit by the poison, so now XY able to clean the elimination up extremely easily. 7 eliminations on the board now, or that's the 6th elimination, sorry. 6 eliminations on the board for ASE's XY. 3 gold weapons available for him. Gold armor as well. Mike and Arano, less eliminations than him. We've got 6 for XY, 4 for Mike, and 2 for Arano. This is sure to be a phenomenal end circle here, as we are going to be seeing the gold spear coming out with that Heartstarper kick, gold jade from Arano. Gonna get himself parried really quickly here, though. Mike able to get that golden spear away from Arano. Gonna use it for himself here, as no ultimate available still for Arano, as he did see him use it to get away. And now XY trying to join in the fight on the third party. Arano becoming the target of the lobby. Justina is just not doing too well against each other, against these other heroes into this meta. As now we're seeing the poison coming through. I believe it's hit almost everybody. Arano hasn't been hit with the poison, but we did see Mike getting hit with that. He's backing out to try and heal here, but Arano getting extremely low, gonna knock the poison as well. There's another one of those poison jellyfish, and they're coming hugely into play in this final circle. XY going to continue to try and chase this. Arano is extremely low in HP, needs to try and find an escape route, and it looks like he's going to get the reset off.
He was able to. Arano has been some really tough situations here where somehow he's been really able to back out of this, but now he's not going to be able to, as he knows Mike is now on the crossroads here, fully paying attention to Arano here, knowing that it looks like Yuan is like kind of probably wondering where everybody else is inside of the circle here, or he's just letting them fight most likely into this. It looks like there might be a whole battle inside of this section here. So it'll be interesting to see how he's going to be able to handle this as Mike forces the ulti, tries to see if he can back off this. He's going to try to see if he can find Arano here. He wants to try to see if he can get this free elimination. He is 4 deep into this. Yuan has a massive opportunity here, and I just want to say something. Yuan was in like 16th place when we first started this game. 6 eliminations into this game, and he's already past the point of qualifying. Already. It takes one game. And just like that, Yuan is in contention for qualifying after game number 1. That's just how incredible this game is, and that's just how amazing these players can really switch it up here, knowing that they're playing against the best in the world. Knowing that in this moment here, 4 seconds left on the clock, circle closes in. This is where things get good, guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be down to the buzzer. We've got 2 minutes and 35 seconds left in the entire game, with Circle 6 closing on to Circle 7 as we speak. We are gonna be seeing these players start to make a descent towards the middle. I don't believe there are any more of these poison jellyfish to watch out for, so that has been taken out of play. We did see it affect a lot through that last little bit of gameplay, and Mike is going to start to become the target here. Does not have his ultimate online. XY, the only one with ult available. I do believe Mike will get his ult back before the end of the game, so we are going to see that Syra come out huge in the end circle, and the Justina can be a huge problem if they don't deal with it right away, and it looks like that's what they're trying to do. Mike trying to push Arano out, but the jabbing from ANC's XY on that gold spear, or the gold staff, just doing so much damage. Now Mike taking a lot of hits off from these other players now. Getting low, no shield left available, has just a little bit of health. I believe he's still getting healed by something. I'm not 100% sure what it is, but the ultimate's going to come online in the nick of time, and Mike's going to be saved by this. Going to go up into the sky, trying to see if he can hit XY out of the air with that giant laser beam from the Syra ult. Arano going to get hit with the scale rush here. Forced to pop that F ability. XY going to try and get up close and personal with Arano. Unable to make anything happen. These players are getting to full HP, then hitting the reset, getting back to full HP and hitting the reset. I do believe Mike might have some advanced healed shade coming through. He is been able to heal up pretty quickly and consistently. All of these players utilizing almost all of their resources. It's hard to believe that they have a lot of heal pots left. If they do get into a fight where they're brought extremely low, again, actually, Arano was 6 and 4. XY might have a bit less here. Mike could be the one with the least amount of pots. We do see a lot of health pots actually on these players. I did speak too soon here. They have been using a lot of resources, but being able to find more as the game continues to progress, as the levels of this are going to start to come out. XY being the one taking a lot of damage in this final here, as Mike with the huge pull sword. XY, beautiful parry coming through onto Mike. We do still have ultimate available. We are going to see the Kylan ultimate coming out now. Immortality proc already out though. This could be dangerous for XY. He had this match in the bag. Now it looks like it might all be coming up for Mike. Arano going to try and make something happen with the freezes. XY going to see if he can take out Arano. Arano going to be able to get the elimination. Mike getting that final kill, 5 eliminations, and Mike going to steal that MVP from XY right under his nose. Oh my goodness, what an end circle.
How unfortunate, but also I'm not surprised. I mean, we're talking about Mike here, who really is... Oh, never mind. Oh. XY still ends up taking the top spot here. He might have ended up catching an elimination here towards that final circle potentially, or he just ended up in second place in the 70s, 80s. Still gonna be pretty mildly hot here, but let's put some coats on and let's start off in the Yushan Ruins here between some of the top players, or at least some of the bottom players inside of the game. Number 2 here in Yushan Ruins. Take it away.
Taking a look here, we are going to be seeing JL's AS. Gray fan in hand, going to try and find himself a little bit of armor before getting into these fights. It looks like Asia not far behind him. So all of these players going to start getting into some action, and CDY already getting dangerously low here. Lipo trying to chase, blue staff in hand, has some armor under his belt as well. CDY in a very bad situation here, going to try and get these grapples away. And it looks like Mike has noticed the commotion and deciding to join in onto the fun here. CDY extremely low in HP, needs to hit this scale rush, and is moving perfectly through these buttery rocks, being able to avoid all of these players. Mike very, very close in pursuit though, is going to get knocked by a grapple from behind. Lipo is going to take the lead. It's like we're casting some F1 racing going on right now. GG Shaw in the mix now, as we're going to see on the other side. I believe that's Arano coming into this fight. GG Shaw extremely low in HP. We're going to see a huge parry coming out now. Shaw is going to get himself eliminated. Arano picking up his first elimination of the game.
You go.
coming through. Mike now, overhold is going to connect. Fist Blades now, picking up those purple Fist Blades right in the middle of this commotion, trying to turn the fight around. Mike, no ultimate available, is going to try and scale out Arano on the Liam. Going to try and see if he's going to be able to catch something with this ultimate. Isn't going to be able to, though. Goes for the reset here, finding that blue armor. Going to heal that up and jump right back into this action as we're going to see this Lonnie coming through, trying to make something happen. It looks like CDY back into the mix of this fight again, gotten extremely low, and we're going to see the grab coming out from the Liam, trying to get the elimination onto CDY. It looks like he was unable to complete the kill, and Mike with the cannon shot from downtown coming and stealing the elimination. Now Lipo going to get brought extremely low. Arano going to steal the elimination from Mike here, and now Mike going to try and get himself caught up, using that F ability to get caught out of the combo. Arano going to be able to get it a second time, though. Jump LMB going to come through to try and finish that off. Mike now forced to pop his own ultimate, get away so he can heal. Arano with a beautiful kill steal under the belt of Mike there. 2 eliminations for him, 1 kill on the board for Mike, and the fight is going to continue here. F ability invested for Mike to try and kite out of this situation. He's got the dual blades in hand, does not want the aggression here. Arano continues to find a nice counter grapple coming up from Mike there to be able to put even more distance between him and Arano. He's going to continue to try and keep this space. Arano going to try and hold the outside here. Is going to be able to get the combo. Starts the combo off perfectly here, but the F ability going to be invested. Mike able to back off, gets the 1.0 overhold to be able to take Arano's shield down to almost nothing. Mike going to jump onto the aggressive now. Arano does have ult available if he needs. It could be coming out pretty quickly here. We are going to see ultimate coming out now from Mike as well. Arano going to get stunned out by this. We could see the ultimate happen. He wants to hold off to the last possible second. Does have F available if he is going to get caught out by this. We're going to see the armor swap coming into play, though. Arano, huge armor swap. Now, very low in HP. We're going to see the F coming out. Ultimate available. Is going to catch him. Oh, my goodness, from downtown. Gets the pot off, sends him through, gets a little bit of extra health from the siphon here. We're going to see him try and get another grab, but Mike doing a very good job at avoiding, and the 1-2 is going to come out. Arano trying to go for the parry, is not going to catch that second ultimate here, as we're going to see very, very low in HP. Gets the charge into the jump LMB, does not connect the jump LMB. F ability coming out, 1 HP in a dream. Mike, 1 catch could win this all for him, and it looks like the musket shot turned around for Arano. 3 eliminations on the board, and I spoke too soon. I was just, Liam isn't performing. Liam hasn't been doing well. Liam's not getting kills early game. Liam's not living to see end game, and Arano proving me wrong. This is what I love to see here, ladies and gentlemen. Arano picking up 3 eliminations at the Yushan Ruins, taking Mike back to the Soul Altar, sending a couple others back as well, and showing exactly why Liam's double picked and why, wow, just perfectly.
Absolutely top structure too in terms of getting eliminations, but also really being able to pin in a lot of different areas here. Let's see if they can keep that same momentum moving in other areas here, as we're slowly going to start to reveal where some of these other players are going here, as Arano's leading the pack with 3 eliminations so far here. Overall, you see the what he has. He has that blue. Does he have a gold? Is that a gold longsword? Ooh.
Gold longsword, yeah.
He's got some pretty decent loot here. Maybe you can get lucky enough to find something else here. First round of Yangs are slowly going to start to descend and show up here pretty soon here. So we see Yuan headed towards 1. GG Shaw. Looks like they're going to head towards 1 as well. Looks like Edward, and looks like that was Wu Fong that might be headed towards one of the other ones here towards the center. It looks like that was near Igneous Mound. Inside of this area here, as we see CDY right next to Fong. It looks like they're going to probably duke this out in the circle.
And Fong, we've always seen Fong going towards that salvation podium of when we're on Holoroth. He loves to try and get himself that advantage by getting a gold weapon in the early game. The amount of damage that it does when you're taking a fight, you want to have any advantage that you could possibly have. This is what I've been trying to say for these past couple of days when we're talking about target selection, when we're talking about everything that has to do with why these players do what they do when they're playing Naraka, is these fights and these players' skill levels are all basically in a 50-50 when it comes to these fights. And you see definitely some players' skill levels are above others, but when you are able to tip the scales into your favor by, let's say, getting a buff, getting a weapon that's gold, getting a higher scaled loot and armor, these are the fights that you want to take where you have a huge advantage over these other players. which is why we see Fong doing a very good job of going for that gold weapon right away to get that advantage in the early game. It might not be an advantage as these players are able to pick up gold weapons after that first Yang drop, but for that early game before first Yang, if he's able to pick up a lot of eliminations, it does help him out very much so. As we're going to see this first round of Yang starting off, it's going to be Mike jumping in on one side. Nobody entered yet, as it looks like people are going to be waiting to start these fights off till the very last second, as they love to do. NARAKA has come down to a game of seconds. You know, these games end just as the final circle closes and the very last seconds of the timer go away. This is what we're waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, TE's Wufong taking on OUG's Mike. Using the pistol shots coming out. Huge parry from Mike right off the rip. Is going to be able to get the catch off of the F. Doesn't lose his weapon, but Mike able to get a huge bit of damage in here. We're going to see the ultimate getting popped out from Wufong. Wufong is going to miss that first ult charge, and now Mike in the Lonnie ult is going to be able to do a lot of damage here. Going to try and get the stun off. Gets his second hit off. Missed the first one, though. Just following Wufong around, and there's nothing that he can do while this Lonnie is in the ultimate. Trying to get a heal off. Is unable to come away with any sort of healing. Trying to get the stop into the circle. Is not going to be able to get caught up by that Liam ultimate ball. Wufong on 1 HP now. Very close to death. We're going to see the jumping LMB coming out. Mike lost all of his shield now. We're going to see another huge parry coming in. F ability invested, so no punish damage will come through off of that. But the scale rush into the one. Mike, beautiful finish. What a play coming through here as TE's Wufong is going to head back to the Soul Altar. We're going to see ASE's XY also eliminated, as we do have one more Realm of Yang that is going to be finished. About a dot. Going to get himself that Vermilion's Birdmite, and OE's Edward winning his Realm of Yang against Alliance's Ajiao. As we're coming out of Yang here, it looks like JL's AS fighting against SS1's CDY. AS going to back off of this, not wanting to get too aggressive into this fight, as Mike looking for his target is going to find CDY in the bush here. Wants to get this elimination, has that Vermilion, so he's going to play extra aggressive for the next 2.5 minutes here, as we are going to be seeing him try and come through. F ability invested to avoid some damage from CDY. We're going to see him scaling through these buttery rocks, and the rocks are always a difficult place to play because you've got so much scale rush potential. It's really easy to kite out, but it's also really easy to get caught up if you're not on point with your movement here. CDY become the target of the lobby.
Interesting to see what the next target is as well here, as knowing you're going to get it from Mike himself here. Definitely not the best person that you want to see behind you as you hear somebody chasing you is one of the top players here, as Mike is going to get away from almost getting caught by a blue RMB from some dual halberds. They're very dangerous here, as both of them are going to be grappling up here. CDY is on the worst side of this spectrum here. Let's see if they can keep that same momentum here. CDY is going to have to do something if he wants to see himself get out of this. Not the best momentum to kind of see if he can figure it out, but still is going to have to figure this out. Most likely here is he's going to have to come through right inside of the building here. Mike is going to go right on the round, outstretch, and Mike is going to capture the elimination. Just like that. A real tough fallout in that moment for some of these other players here, as he's just trying to see if he can get out of this as best as possible here. Meanwhile, with Edward not in a tough spot as well here, he's dangerously hurt. And as Zhao, in the very last second, is going to capture that elimination here. And just like that, Vermilion's Birthmite is going to get depleted, but he still will be able to go through the easy resurrection. Hopefully he was able to capture a pick, or at least I don't think he was able to. That's one of the tough things in some of these situations here. Vermilion's Birthmite is one of those get out of jail free cards, and you try to see if you can capture a quick pick, knowing that you have 3 or 4 people around. It's definitely a lot harder to capture something. Meanwhile, Yuan is in the middle of the fight with Azao. Azao needs so much here. He pops open and gets a beautiful parry on him as well here, trying to see if you can find him for blue focus. And just like that, Yuan uses that momentum and that opportunity here to pop open the ulti here, see if he can slow down the movement. Pops open the F as well. Trying to see if he can slow down the movement here. Sadly, misses out on some beautiful hits, though, with the dual halberds. He's going to be able to capture him with the juggle. Not being able to do too much. Zhao misses out with that parry. Oh, turns around. Is going to be able to do it yet again to him. Let's see if he does one more time. He ends up catching him with the Justina, and is able to go through with the shield, and just like that, he's able to pop stretch. Try to see if maybe he can pop with it. Oh, beautiful timing. Both to able to use it to potentially escape. Comes right back down, turns it around, and gets the pick onto him as well. Beautiful execution off of that.
And we saw the alt variation come out there where the new changes to that Justina ult. If you press V while in your ultimate, you're going to be able to change those last dashes that you have remaining to those guaranteed dashes that we saw from the V2, as we did see the removal of the entire V2 ultimate. He was able to get the guaranteed freeze, and the 1-over with a huge damage coming out from that spear was able to get him a victory into that fight, granting him a soul bloom there. Aizen putting that his third elimination. XY was also on that Yang depletion. T is Wufang also Yang depletion. We saw Aizen go for that when he gets his second elimination. He was trying to get the bloom, was unable to capture it, but he's able to find XY, come away with that elimination, completely undisturbed by any other players. And it looks like Baodao's Chujang just going to send himself completely to the storm right now. But T's Wufang, on 20 seconds left of Yang depletion, has nothing to lose, is going to follow him out into the zone here. And we're going to see the F ability invested. Chujang almost picking up that elimination very quickly. And it looks like we're seeing another DRG's Fung. Oh my goodness, Arano stealing the elimination from nowhere. These players miles into the storm. Fong coming in with a huge ultimate to try and come away with that elimination, but we're seeing WZ Arano jumping into the zone, coming through with a beautiful bow shot to steal the kill from Fong. What a crazy play here, and Baodao's Chujang going to be able to make it safely back into the zone. Aizen, I believe, still alive, but we did see Wufang get completely eliminated there. No eliminations on the board for him, as Baodao's Chujang still getting aggressive. It looks like DRG's Fong going to try and kite this out. Doesn't want any part of this fight. These buttery rocks getting a little bit aggressive for him here. So we're going to see the Lonnie ultimate invested from Mike, though, as he's holding his position at this Rong Yang. Chujang taking a few hits from the landing balls, as we are going to see Chujang still hot in pursuit, wanting to get this elimination onto Feng. Rong Yang has closed down Feng, trying to make his escape, was unable to. And now this fight could continue. Chujang, they don't need to take this fight, but if Chujang is confident in his ability to come away with that elimination, he might want to be able to go for that. And now we're taking it to the Rong Yang.
Look back on the inside here as we saw some pistol hits. Going to be able to take that strike down as Mike fighting this out with JL's AS here. Definitely a little bit of a mismatch here, knowing AS hasn't had the best sense of fighting so far here in this first game. And the second game isn't necessarily his best currently here, as we do see the turnaround of blue RMB and then the strike coming in from Kai Lin, trying to see if he can time it. Obviously popping the ulti here. Here comes the problem that arises here with why Kai Lin is one of the top players that people pick. He does become an absolute problem once he starts to throw the ulti around. But here comes Mike, though, gonna be able to rotate this and go right back to him with the ulti as well here. He's gonna be able to capture a nice little bit of flying, throws the ball around, trying to see if he can connect as well. Does a little bit of a switcheroo. These both players coming in with both amazing displays here, but now he's just gonna absolutely juggle him here. Doesn't give him much of an opportunity here to do much, as Kylan trying to fight this out so hard. Nice stun to send him back, but Mike just putting in so much pressure, taking the time, and really seeing the advantage of where he was here. It's crazy how Mike can do so well in the amount of hecticness that happens.
Yeah, and that right there, we just see the reason why Kylan has started to fall out of this meta is that, like, we see Kylan turn out victorious in so many situations, but when you're playing against a hero who's got an ultimate like Syra's or Lanny's, there's very little that you're going to be able to do against those ultimates, and you're just taking so much damage. So AS on that Yang depletion needs to find himself an elimination. Doesn't check your bushes, ladies and gentlemen. We've learned this from last time. He's got 2 potential eliminations there and is unable to come away with anything. AS and Edward both on the Yang depletion. We could see them start to fight each other here, as it looks like he might start to go at it. Always Edward trying to make something happen, and Edward my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, JL's AS gonna get hit with the 1-2-3, sent flying off of the cliff. We're gonna see Edward giving hot pursuit to that elimination here, as AS very low in HP. Being able to bring it around, even the playing field a little bit. F ability gonna get invested from Edward to avoid the uppercut from the fan, as now it looks like GG Shah has entered the mix, trying to make something happen. Edward going to pop that ultimate. We are going to see JL's AS already on immortality proc here as well. Flipping his attention over onto GG Shaw, though. JLD is extremely low. He can try and back out of this situation. Wants to be able to use that ult, but it looks like he's just going to have to use that to kite away. Edward, full reset available for him. Going to use that ult to try and get some damage off on to GG Shaw, the Syra, but AS is going to be able to steal that elimination. Edward trying to steal the Soul Bloom, wasn't able to. Shaw going to steal the Bloom. Edward trying to make something happen, but it looks like he was unable to get the Bloom. 30 minutes and 39 seconds left. No ultimate available. This is a very sticky situation for him. He wants to get a kill here, but he doesn't want to aggress and get third-partied, and he doesn't have the ultimate as his safety fallback option.
He's in a tough situation.
It's just a really tough spot.
Yeah, he's in a tough spot here, so he has to kind of play a little bit more on the defense here. Especially relative to how a lot of the other players are going, because there's a lot of aggressive players. We have Mike, Arano, and Azal with 4 eliminations on each, and they're both like, they're both really putting it on pressure right now. Like really heavy pressure on the rest of these players. So if they see anybody, especially in that moment where they're hiding, they're not really trying to engage on too many of these fights. They're really trying to make some stuff happen here. It's going to be really interesting to see how this plays forth here as Mike trying to track down all the way, seeing GG Shaw here. He wants to find the next battle here. He's been really on the hunt for a lot of different things here. I wouldn't be surprised if he has bounties on some of these people here, as he doesn't look to do a nice little blue LMB and sending one or both of them flying out here. Mike forcing the double and also the ulti here. Might try to use it as a little bit of a retreat. Might not necessarily want to fully engage on that, as he does have to reload his pistol. He wants to get right back in this fight here, and yet back in the fight he does. Might try to see if he could find another area here to try to get some nice combos. Looks like he almost finds one on Lipo, but wasn't able to really do much here, as it looks like Edward was finally able to get some full shield, full heals. Able to get right back into this fight here. Tries to see if he can juggle it as much as he can, but now he's back on the slow section of this map here. Oh, wait, GG Shaw might be able to use this as his advantage here. He's going to pop it open here. He might be able to get some free picks. Oh, he's able to get at least one hit off of this, and Edwards is in a tough spot here. He's going to have to try to see if he can get out of this as best as possible here. And it looks like he was able to get out of the section here. Not the best moment that he can, but also the player up top, though, on that bow, he's going to have to get out of there, because the circle will start to hurt a little bit more here, knowing that we're in circle number 5, I think. No, we're in circle 4. We're in circle 4.
Circle 4 has a minute and 15 seconds left, as GG Shaw had the big brain to go on the ballista, but he wasn't able to capitalize off of anything. Edward did get hit with the one shot, but was able to recover and get some healing in. We could see Edward going for... He needs to get a pick here, so we are going to see him getting incredibly aggressive. It looks like Lipo has become the target of the lobby, trying to make it into the caves to be able to kite this out. It looks like he has done a good job. The movement on these players, especially with the dagger. The buttery rocks are not always your friend, though, ladies and gentlemen, as it looks like he has been able to get caught out. Makes the scale rush up top, though. Ultimate is going to be popped here to try and put some pressure onto some of these other players, and it looks like the stun is going to come out. Huge stun onto Edward. Very close to no ultimate, and it looks like he is going to go down here. Eddie getting eliminated, and oh my goodness, the double dash coming up from Aizen. Surgical elimination right there. What a beautiful kill on to Lipo, as Aizen dashes up, dashes straight into, oh my goodness, Aizen with a beautiful play on the Justina here. And this is what I was saying, is our end game is going to be, we do see Arano still. Arano is still our only Liam live left in this lobby, but we've got Lani, Syra, and Justina as our other contenders. 5 eliminations for Aizen, 2 for GG Shaw, 2 for Chuzhang, 4 for Arano, and 4 for Mike, as this Spirit Well has started to come. It looks like Bauda's Chuzhang going to pop that ultimate, and it's going to give him that Mystic Might buff completely for free here, as we are going to see as he does collect the Spirit Well. If you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, he is going to get himself a free ultimate ability to use. So this is what we're seeing here. But with the Lani ult, you use rage charges when you throw, so he does only have that 40% ultimate left available for him. So even though he got the free ult reset, he did not get too much value out of it here, as it looks like Chuzhang on the 40% ult does have that Mystic Might. He does have all of that armor swap available if he wants to go and make a play back to where the Spirit Well was captured, get himself a free armor. GG Shaw now up on the top here. We're going to see him in a little bit of a scale rush battle. I believe that's Mike and Bauda's Chuzhang trying to make something happen. It looks like these players are just going to start kiting it out. We've got 6 minutes left in the game. It's still anybody's match. The kills are all pretty close together. Shaw doing a good job at kiting. It looks like Zhang wants to get aggressive, but is going to lay off for the meantime. And Mike still putting so much pressure on the whole lobby.
A lot of pressure is needed here, and especially with how these players are giving the pressure. Knowing that, like I said before, Azal on the top spot here, he looks like he's going to pull a Yuan here in a second with 6 eliminations. If he gets one more decent pick here, Azal's going to be in a very similar situation. He's going to put Yuan on the back line of this elimination period here for the bi-weekly. As Azal is 1 elimination away from tying it up with Yuan from game number 1. Another good observation to see here, as we're seeing Arano and Mike still tied up with that 4. They're not really going to be forcing too many fights here. Chuz is, you know, being chased, which is interesting, knowing that he has a shield and everything. It's like they want to see if they can capture a pick here, and both of them are just being so little nosy, mostly, at least from what I could tell. Let's just see if they can keep that same momentum running into it. Definitely a little bit unexpected for some of the things that's been happening so far here. Is Mike slowly going to close this gap in little by little. Gonna make it a little bit harder as he tries to see if he can close in that gap. And it goes GG Shaw to the outside, almost getting caught up. And Mike is gonna find him on the stretch of this rock. Almost catches him with the blue LMB from Chuz. But Shaw just trying to get away here, knowing that there's so much aggression from some of these players. It really takes one good strikes. It takes one parry. And just like that, the full lobby absolutely focuses in on one player. And that's the last thing that you really want to be here. As GG Shaw is just the movement master right now here. You know, as I said before, you got to make sure to continue to keep studying in the book of Shaw. Just be a little bit careful, you know? The GG, the book of Shaw is very, very important here, especially when it comes to third parties. But right now, he's in the worst predicament here in terms of third party as he forces the ulti to pop up. He uses some of that light rays to be able to give himself a little bit more shield here. Not going to be able to do too much here. This is going to most likely fall for the reset as he fights Mike. Throws him all the way down towards the edge of the map here. Might be able to find a little bit of some free space here to pop open some shield before it gets really hasty. I don't know why he's doing it from the outside of the circle, but that didn't really do him too much favors. He was able to get some shield, but the heals, now he has less, actually.
Yeah, he was trying to avoid Mike, the pressure that Mike's putting on. He's got gold dual halberds, dragon-like Mike, dragon-like Might coming out. I guess we could call him dragon-like Mike, but
like Mike. Sorry.
he's definitely got a lot of pressure potential to be able to put on here. And Shaw now just getting sent out of the zone, trying to get a pot off, but it's really difficult. It looks like he is going to be able to get a lot of heals off. So one of these players, no one wants to go down and try and fight against this here. It looks like he might just go out to zone. As he's if he goes in zone for another half second, he is going to get eliminated here. So he needs to find his way. If he gets pushed out into the zone one more time, and there it is, boom, stuck into the zone. Mike picking up the elimination there, though. And it looks like Mike getting brought extremely low because of it. 1 HP and a dream now, and Arano going to be able to get a huge bow shot to complete that elimination. Arano now on 5, Aizhao on 5, Mike ending his run of eliminations on 5 kills with that last pick that he was able to get. GG Shaw just playing a little bit too close to the circle here. And these players really wanted to get that Syra out, as it's just such a difficult job to be able to take a Syra out, especially when they have ult in that final circle. They did a very good job of it, but it cost Mike his life to get himself that elimination. He is climbed up to 3rd place, though, passing both Fun Plus Phoenix and SR in the overall standings at 42.1 points. He could take this overall with the top place. This is only after game 2, so he does have a good shot. We're seeing Arano up on the top with Engraving. We're seeing the Zhang, I believe, has Rampage, and Cavalry Bloom for Aizhao. So all of these players with some good Jades ready to make something happen. Zhang just ducking and diving around the map there. Look at the movement with the Hong Sword. Absolutely crazy. As this zone is very, very open. We've got a little bit of levels coming through, but not so much as to it's going to isolate a fight. All of three of these players are going to have to come together in the next 55 seconds as Circle 7 closing in with 50 seconds left in the game, ladies and gentlemen. This is where it's going to start to get spicy. We might see one of these players try and take to the skies here, and it looks like we already have Aizen getting up top, Arano trying to get up top as well. We could see the Engraving make a huge play with from up top, that focus attack dropping all the way from kiting up high down. Look at that. There. We're seeing the grapples coming out, the double jump into the grapples. These players are just doing a really good job of holding their space. And now we're going to see it. Ultimates getting popped. Every single player with their ultimates now popped out. We're seeing Aizen just jumping to the sky. Chuzhang with a huge advantage in this as Alani just being able to float around everyone, knocking them into the zone. And this is where Chuzhang is going to prevail. He's going to come out here, and I believe he gets both of these eliminations. Chuzhang is going to pick up one. Alliance's Aizen picking up the other. Chuzhang, I believe Aizen might come through with the MVP here, as he did have 6 eliminations and Chuzhang only with 3. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Aizen, Alliance's Aizen, and this is what I'm saying, Justina is our MVP. We've seen a Kylan and a...
Usually favor the Wayne Shrine, Juan Shrine, or Crow's Nest sometimes. So it's interesting that they're all on the offshore, right there near the beach side. All 4 of them deciding to pick the same space here. So it seems like there's a lot of great mind, think alike type of individuals, but let's see in terms of the great minds, let's see how reactionary these characters are in terms of how good they are.
Yeah, and we're going to be seeing kicking off, it looks like Edward and Mike going right at it. Huge uppercut going to come through into the 1-2 from Mike, able to deal so much follow-up damage off of that uppercut. You're going to see now Edward on the back foot, going to try and find an armor swap. Does find the blue here. We saw the gray as he's jumping in, but he has the discipline to wait. Mike now getting pieced up. Huge parry coming out. Eddie with a absolutely amazing parry. F ability going to get invested, though, to be able to avoid that. Prio going to come through. Eddie getting a huge combo. Missing the charged RMB, though, is going to be able to try and connect again. Gets the second connect. And oh my goodness, he's not able to get this follow-up damage that's coming through. Mike with another armor swap coming through. These players trying to get Prio. Edward with another huge parry. Tries to get the follow-up damage, but has just been so unlucky. Uppercutting Mike onto a ledge where he's unable to hit that charged LMB attack. RMB attack, sorry, over and over again. Mike is going to get pieced for half of his shield, though. Half health now, trying to make something happen. Chuzhang's trying to jump into the mix. The parry is going to come out, but it's just a little too early. Bada's Chuzhang picking up the elimination with the fist blades. Edward now trying to make something happen. The parry is going to be early again here. Edward trying to make something happen as well. Trying to go for this parry. Chuzhang able to get these timings off onto these players. Coming through, able to go for the cancel. Edward able to get a little bit of damage in as the overhold's going to come out. Chuzhang is going to take the damage. AS going to be able to get the overhold off onto Edward. Edward now dangerously low. Ultimate going to get popped onto Chuzhang. F ability invested. Now we're seeing the Liam ultimate coming out as well. Shyle ult invested as well. All 3 of these players with their ults up, just holding space. Edward trying to make something happen with the freeze is going to be unable to connect. 1 freeze left. Isn't sure whether he should use it for aggression or to get out of here. And now AS going to be able to get the elimination. Gets the bloom. Chuzhang not able to get that soul bloom, and that's what he was trying to go for here. We're going to see him try and throw. As soon as the Shyle throws one of her shields, he knows he's going to be able to get her caught out with the ultimate, but the ultimate's going to go down, gets the catch. Chuzhang going to be able to get a pot off, almost gets the pop. Scale rush away is going to come into play here. AS going to go for the reset as well. Chuzhang going to get dropped down on no ultimate for either of them. F ability invested after a huge parry from Chuzhang. Chuzhang going to get caught by the Prio. Isn't going to fall to the uppercut, though, as we are going to see the charge attack coming out from the fist blades. And now the weapon swap combo into the grapple bump, into the finisher. AS picking up the elimination on the outskirts of the map. Finishing that off, 3 eliminations for JL's AS right off the rip. 2 for Aizen. We got 1 for Chuzhang, but Chuzhang sent back to the soul altar by JL's AS. AS down in the bottom 3 at 16th place right now, trying to make his comeback here as OUG's Mike trying to make the play now on to Arano, our Hottie, as the Hottie ult is going to come out. Mike finding himself a blue armor swap But here we go. We're seeing the ultimate coming out now. Arano able to do a lot of damage with that ultimate. We're going to see a little bit of...
Seems like he's more so using the ulti this time for more of aggressive play style rather than using it as like a retreat form. Because it definitely looks like it's a little bit of an advantage for him in this moment here, knowing that Mike can't really... And that's the one thing though, like, yes, he was able to be nerfed, but that just means that his play style has to change. So instead of him using it towards, you know, trying to get away or being in a tough pickle, he mostly uses it towards being very aggressive. The problem is that you really can't be aggressive to a player like Mike, because Mike is going to be able to switch this around. And just like that, we go from, you know, a player who was really aggressive towards Mike to where all of a sudden Arano's like, hey, I'm just playing, man. I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. I wasn't really doing all that. My fault. Like, hey, listen, hold on. Let's talk about this. Now, all of a sudden, now it's a different type of energy where now Mike has him on the right stride here, and he's dangerously low. He has him popping off the F key, just try to see if he can deplete, but not enough here. Catches him on the juggle. And ladies and gentlemen, Mike is able to capture Arano with a beautiful juggle and gets that finish. And just like that, Mike is gone. That is one of the, I feel like if this was any other fight, I feel like Arano wins that. Any other person, I feel like he wins that.
I don't know.
Go up with that aggression with Mike like that. You can't do that.
The hottie trying to make something happen. As you saw, the damage from the ultimate really wasn't putting in much work. He was able to kite most of it out, and I feel like most players are going to be able to make something like that happen. Where I think Mike was able to excel there is he parries 3 times into Arano's face and was able to come away with that third parry. I don't think Arano was expecting him to parry 3 times into his face, which is why he released the blue. If Arano goes for an LMB prio attack and goes for an uppercut, I believe that he's able to take Mike out there, but his decision making brings him to trying to take that focus attack after he's already parried twice. He's like, oh, I've already got him. But the third parry coming out from Mike to be able to finish off that play was just absolutely phenomenal. And this is just where the mind games come in. Arano was not confident in being able to cancel that into something else, so he tries to, you know, change the play up and does end up getting himself caught in. And he had uppercut potential so many times. Mike was able to scale rush away from that fight time and time again. And the armor swaps that Mike was finding as well, like he parries once for the stone form, or sorry, the meter dump, and then he parries again. It's just what a play that Mike was able to do, just being able to read Arano like a book, and then the chase at the end, the double uppercut was just so beautiful. Going into this now, we've got this Realm of Yang spawning up. CDY has got this Yang all to himself. He's got 2 Starfall Jades and 2 melee resist. So he's got 24% melee resist, no health, no attack, but is as Akos in the Realm of Yang. This is what we've said. Akos, not the greatest player outside of the Realm of Yang, but he is a force to be reckoned with, especially against some of these top tier heroes. As it looks like Wu Fang and Mike opting to go for the Spirit Well as opposed to going for this this Realm of Yang here. We're going to see ASE's XY going to be the first person to take the Realm of Yang slot, as a huge parry going to come out. Wu Fang isn't going to get the punish off, as we're going to see Mike able to scoop up all of that armor, but the armor swap is going to come in anyways for Wu Fang as he picks up Mike's old armor. And now Mike trying to make something happen. Arano jumping in for the third party as well. Wu Fang able to get the end bit of his overhold off onto Mike, and it looks like they're just going to go for a reset as XY fighting against SS1 CDY. Huge parry going to come in. Uppercut going to come out here. Now CDY forced to make something happen with the ultimate already. We do know that the Shio ultimate is available. We're going to see the grab over the top of the pillar. Oh my goodness, CDY. What a play coming out. XY now on the ropes here. We are going to see him bringing it back around, though. He does have that ultimate available. We are going to see the grab coming through as the F ability invested now too. Grab going to come out from CDY with the Tiger grab. Ultimate now down for SS1. XY full force on the offensive now with this ultimate. Still has 2 charges available. Going to try and send it back to 1-2 into the jumping LMB. Going to try and make that happen again. He does have the throw. He makes the throw. CDY gets elimination. Gets eliminated here, and ASE's XY winning that Realm of Yang, as well as OA Edward beating GG Shaw out in this first Realm of Yang. We've got one more Realm of Yang to play. and we're going to see the victor there. And it looks like Alliance's Asia was able to take out JL's AS.
Plays that really well all throughout that, and Yuan is really just being an absolute dynamic piece of destruction so far here, and really giving a lot of problems to some of these players, especially inside of both the realm of Yang and on the outskirts here. We're going to look at Edwards here. Edwards is really struggling in some of these games here. I mean, he is still in the qualifying level, so he doesn't really have to worry about too much here, but Juwan has a lot to prove. Azal has a lot to prove. And currently, CDY, AS, and GG Shah is both down the bottom of the hill. They are trying to catch up as much as possible. Meanwhile, GG Shah trying to do the exact same thing here as he has to get in front of Juwan, who currently is right under the chopping block here, as Azale is also doing the exact same thing here. So a lot of different moments here happening on a lot of different areas. Both of them ending up. He tries to pop the ulti here. Almost pops the parry, though, but sadly wasn't able to catch it as well here. As it looks like he's waiting for the blue RMB strike to capture. Not too much, as he is on the defensive already here. Let's see if any of those balls are going to be able to connect on him here. Not too much here. Was able to pop the ulti here. A lot of those protection shields really is going to be able to do a lot here, as he catches him with the grab and the chokehold. Sadly, you're not going to be able to do too much here. He's going to do a decent amount as well here. Sadly, he doesn't complete on a beautiful parry to connect onto it. And here comes the third party coming in from Edwards here. The timing coming through. This question is, can he actually get the elimination at the very end of this strike? He might be able to, and he does very much so, being able to turn this game around. Captures the sneak and gets the finish now. Zuan is in a rough place here. The Soul Bloom has been taken away here. He can't do too much. He has to force the fight here because he's in between both, and both of them are going to carry this chase as much as possible. Oh, beautiful turnaround parry coming in from Yuan here, but it's not going to be able to do enough. But he has the Vermilion's Bird Mite, so it's okay. He was able to use it to at least get a pick. And honestly, when it comes to that Vermilion's Bird Mite, that's all that matters. Now back to the section. Edward now on the tough chopping block here. Chuz just putting in so much effort. He has the shield. He's got the full heals here, and it's not looking good as Chuz is able to complete the elimination as well. But again, same thing as well. Also has the Vermilion's Bird Mite, so he was trying to capture that elimination, but Yuan was able to steal it away. And just like that, he's back. Just like that, he wants this fight. Oh, he captures him with the choke. Tries to see if he can go for the grab. He does it again. He gets it for the two-piece. And the question is, can he keep the combo streak up as much as possible here? He's trying to see if he can find him. Not being able to capture too many of his hits here, as Yuan just trying to see if he can scramble back just a little bit here. Trying to time it. It looks like he does, with a little bit of some hits though from the dual blades. Not enough for him to connect on it, but he's going to be able to take it, move it all the way up top on the roof here. He's able to scoundrel inside of this space here. Scale rush from the outside of the window here. Beautiful time on both sections here. Not going to be able to find any shield swaps, unfortunately. He does find one, which is a gray, which in reality feels like it's just nothing of a shield swap, if anything. But a lot of times players say it's better than nothing. Let's see if they're going to be able to keep the same momentum. He almost catches him with the juggle, as that was the next thing, but the stun is able to prevent him from doing that. Meanwhile, is still able to capture him with both blue LMB strikes. Trying to see if he can hold strong here. Waiting for the time. Maybe potentially for the ulti, but not going to be able to do enough here, as he ends up catching him with the slam. Almost goes for the parry. Not enough. He catches him on the wall, and he's going to put enough pressure on Chuz here. Chuz has to be able to go for the rotation here. The circle take is on the wrong side of both players here, but he wants to get this finish. Yuan has been playing the game of his life here. He wants to get out of this red section of the shopping block here. He's doing everything that he can here, and he's going to be able to most likely capture the elimination. As he does, Yuan with the poison is going to be able to capture the elimination, and he gets it tied between him and Azale. 3 eliminations apiece, and we see CDY on the outskirts here, as Mike actually steals the elimination away from CDI, even though he literally has the tiger's mouth on the neck, ready to go for the finish. CDY is in a tough spot. He's also going to try to see if he can move this around. Oh no! He catches him in the ball on the outskirts, gets that pick. AS gets the elimination, and he goes out of there unscathed.
AS doing a beautiful job on the Liam, and when you have players like Mike and AS playing Liam, they're gonna dominate the lobby. They're doing such a good job. The ball pickup onto CDY, and he almost had the elimination. Mike being able to steal it right from underneath him, as just being stuck in that animation right at the tip of that that slam, he's able to come away victorious. So we do see Assault Smolder on that hung sword can be very lethal, as we saw earlier with the other Shio in our lobby. ASC's XY was able to come away victorious, taking that fight away. We are going to be seeing the burn damage coming now. It is going to take a lot of damage on the Wufang. They're going to try and fight each other here. The 1-2 is going to be able to come out from Wufang into the crouch 1. He gets the R&B Prio catch off here, though, into the dual blades, jumping over, finishing it off with a 1. Wufang stood no chance. ASC's XY just perfectly performing in these Realm of Yangs, and he's having another pop-off game. Game number 2 seems to have been the outlier here. We were wondering if he was going to be able to keep it consistent. It looks like Aizen messing up the combo a little bit there. Almost had Edward on the ropes. We're going to see the Nejas come through, but the jump into ball we are going to see from Aizen, and this is the mobility that you get from this Lanny. Aizen putting it to work, and always Edward. Big Eddie going to be sent back to the Soul Altar. Stormstride pick up here with the gold armor, gold greatsword. He's going to flip that into a pole sword. It is going to be very great for Aizen coming into the rest of this. He's putting up a lot of numbers and showing that he does not want to be in these bottom groups here. Is going to try and go for a little bit of a buy here, heading into the storm, switching that pole sword over. Like I said, the greatsword is going to get switched into that pole sword. For maximum mobility and damage, these players have started to favor the pole sword, or they have favored the pole sword over the greatsword ever since basically its release. The mobility that you get compared to the mobility that you have with the greatsword is just so much more. You're able to hold charge while running, and you need a Soul Jade to do that with the greatsword. As we're taking a look at our scoreboard now, 4 eliminations for both XY and Aizen. Mike fully eliminated from this lobby here. Edward on 2 eliminations, DRG's Fong on 2, AS as well with 4 eliminations. And I don't believe we saw where Mike went down. Hopefully it'll give us a little bit of a replay of that, but we've got our Yang depletion players, which is Tease, Wufang, our lone Syra of the lobby, and we've got always Edward. It looks like Edward going to try and make a play onto Aizen, but the Stormstride, oh my goodness, the sap damage from the parry. Edward losing all of his shield here is going to be able to try and make something happen on the reverse. F ability going to come out. Aizen just doing a really good job of locking Edward down. Almost is able to hit that combo again, but leaving Edward just enough time to pop that Justina ultimate out here. We're going to see the first dash coming into play. Huge parry going to come out for Edward. F ability invested from Aizen, though. Ultimate going to come out now. Gets the freeze, though. We could see this turn into something great, but the third party going to come through, forcing Edward to back out of this fight. We're seeing the big ball throw coming out as well from Aizen. Now Edward forced to back off, and Tease Wufang hot in pursuit, wants to get this kill for the Soul Bloom. Edward able to find his way out of here, though, and what an ankle breaker. Oh my goodness, nobody knows where he went. It looks like Wufang is going to start to try and check down below, as it looks like we're seeing into the mix now. Wufang jumping in, as we are going to see all of these players looking for Edward. Eddie needs to get himself out of here fast. Not able to get these pots off. Forced to pop the F, trying to scale rush away. Aizen with the gold pole sword in hand, and like we said, we're seeing the Hottie ultimate getting invested now as well. Wufang, Arano going to pick up the kill. Wufang does not get the bloom. The scale rush going to come out again. This pole sword on the side of the hill alongside the storm stride of Aizen, just putting in so much worse. ASC's XY going to try and make something happen. Great sword coming into play. We don't see that happening every day. Aizen going to just let Wufang pass him by. 2 minutes left on this Yang depletion. He needs to all in or nothing right now.
If we can keep the same energy and the space where certain things are forward here, as we're going to see if we can keep that same momentum going. And obviously, nice little bit of some elimination finishes for how this is going overall here. The timing couldn't be any better, especially with all of these players. Meanwhile, Wufang definitely in a tough situation here off the chopping block. Oh, it looks like Fong found him. He's catching him. He's like, no. Where do you think you're going, buddy? Oh! Not here, not today. Beautiful scramble here on side. Gonna try to catch him with the floor. Gonna try to see if he can rotate around this as well with it. The timing couldn't be any better for how he was able to absolutely dominate for that split second here, but he was able to pop the ulti just so he can get away just in the lick of time. And even with that here, the timing couldn't be any better here. He got lucky. He really could have been eliminated in a tough spot here. Wufang absolutely has to thank his lucky stars for the amount of third parties that came through in that moment here. Really trying to drive a little bit of that hesitation forward here. And let's see if he can keep that same momentum, though. He has to be careful, though. I mean, he does have some heals. He just doesn't want to be caught out by the rest of the team unless he's just... He doesn't have any shield. He has some heals. So he's just going to stall. Or no, he has the... Never mind. He has the timing. He has the timer for the Realm of Yang. My bad.
Yang depletion is going to come through. Wufang is going to be eliminated on that front there. We are going to see him go out. Nobody going to claim that kill credit, but he does finish the game with 0 eliminations. We're going to get to see a little bit of a replay. This is how Mike went out here. They're fighting inside the Bane. It looks like DRG's Fong is going to be able to finish off the elimination. And guys, what did we learn? If you watched Trios on the last day, you know 100% what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. The Bane, do not fight in it. The greed that was happening. Shout out Duncan, by the way, as he's co-caster with me that day. The Banes were wiping out entire teams with one blast. Mike falling victim to the Bane. DRG's Fong was able to come away with a little bit of a elimination off of that front there. And now we're jumping in to 5 players remaining. DRG's Fong, ASC's XY, Alliance's Aizhao, WZ's Arano, and JL's AS. Arano on 1, 3 players on 4 kills, and Fong on 2. Fong we haven't seen too much of, but you know he has been one of those players who does sneak his way in to the finals almost every single time. ASC's XY. Oh my goodness, the Aurora burst that we saw earlier coming out from XY didn't turn into an elimination, but if he would have been able to get that kill off, it would have been absolutely insane. As we're going to see nobody trying to go for the parry here. XY wants this realm, this Spirit Well.
I'm curious what he wants out of it, though. That's the other thing, too. And then he ends up backing away and just...
Well, he captures the Spirit Well here, so being on Shayal, you're not using up rage every time you throw one of your things out, so popping that ultimate, getting the buff, now you have ultimate available.
So it's a free ring. It's a free ring.
As soon as that ult goes out, you now have the Mystic Might buff, you've now got ultimate available. If you use that ultimate, you get ultimate again. See, he's able to pop ultimate again right now if he wanted to. Jumping into this fight allows you to get extra aggressive, and he's going to get aggressive onto Arano here. Arano taking so much damage, trying to fight back a little bit. The 1-2-3 going to come out, catching the tail end of that off. I believe the Cyan Fang was able to come out there from WZ's Arano. Arano now going to be scaling away the target of the lobby. The only hottie as well. It's going to be really easy to spot out if things start to go south here. Ultimate going to be invested. Immediately dropped out of the ult from the scale rush, and ASC's XY going to pick up the kill with a great sword grapple bomb.
Great sword grapple, something we definitely don't see, especially in how tight this type of game is so far here. With Zhao, Yuan, Feng, and AS at the very end of the stretch here. Overall here, definitely going to be an interesting strike towards the final end of the circle. We still are in 4, and look at this. The final 4. 1 is up top, 1 over, and then the other 3 are right under. This is going to be an interesting battle here. This could be huge for not just like one player. This could be 2 or 3 that might potentially put Chuz and Wufang, by the way, in the chopping block for elimination for the red line. So this is more than just kind of one section. This could be useful for a lot of these players, even if it comes from Fong, who ends up capturing maybe 2 or 3 more eliminations. If Yuan ends up getting 1 to 2 more in a dub, he puts himself there. Chuz is in a tough spot right now here, and so is Wufang, knowing that it's only a 0.4 point difference between 10th and 11th place, and knowing that 12th and 13th are only 2 points away. That means all they need is 1 solid elimination and at least a number 1 or a top 2 finish.
Yeah, this is where the nitty-gritty comes down. DRG's Fong has to kill every single person in this lobby with a first place finish. He has to kill, I believe, at least 2 people in the lobby, prevent XY from getting any kills, and the math comes in. They're just going to play it out as hard as possible until the end, try to maximize their scoring as much as possible. Looks like XY dropping the pull sword there. Interesting play. It looks like he did switch that out for a golden Fan going to be the weapon that he's going to choose to continue this fight with. He wants to stay away from Aizhao. Aizhao does have the Storm Stride, is Soul Jade available, so he's going to have lightning strikes jumping around him anytime he's in combat. This is going to give him a huge advantage, dealing damage to his other players. It's like a mini Draco Storm buff in your pocket.
True.
lasts for however long you're being attacked for. It does not heal you, but you can deal a lot of damage to your opponents, and it will stun them out of certain attacks and moves if they're trying anything. And look at that XY with the Aurora Burst on top of this pillar. He's going to be able to hold this for as long as he needs to. Nobody's going to try and contest this. Range shots won't be affecting him because he's got the power of the Aurora Burst to defend against his opponents right now. Aizhao up on the top side, Feng on the bottom. Far side is going to be AS, and then here we go. ASE's XY. We've got one Lanny, one Justina, one Shiol, and one Liam Yu to finish this game off. JL's AS had a very, very explosive start to the game, picking up 3 kills in the early game. Did get himself on Yang depletion, managed to cure it, so he's in a very good position right now. I believe he did lose. I think somebody might have taken a weapon away from him because he's only got that blue fan out right now. I don't know if he's got anything in the back pocket to assist him, but with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left, it really is anyone's game until the end. I believe that ASC's XY is going to take it away as MVP, but Alliance Aizhao, who has also had a great performance today, has very good contention. I'm not going to try and do it. I'm not going to try and curse.
Things can change in an instant here, especially with Yuan having such a powerful Soul Jade right now. This could be the one that really changes up the rest of the game here, especially when the circle starts to close in here, as it's only going to get tighter. They're obviously not going to engage as much here, especially on Yuan's sake, knowing that he has so much areas here, but also Flong has something pretty good too as well here that could actually change the pace of the game as well. So it just depends. Azal way down at the bottom, he's going to have to show up as well if he's going to have an opportunity to get himself all the way out there as much as possible here. This is where things are going to get real deep and real interesting for a lot of different areas here. I think this is where we're going to start to close in little by little here. And Azal still on the outskirts here. I'm actually really surprised that the circle actually was able to get him all the way at the very edge. That actually is insane. I did not think that he was going to be very favorited towards this, but here's the setting for everybody, especially if you're just joining in. Welcome to NARAKA Bladepoint Pro League, where some of the best players in the world are battling it out for a large lump sum, but also this is also our first week back into the mix here. And some people, if you guys see that red line on the side of the game, that means that some of these players are going to get eliminated. 6 players are going to get eliminated, and only 12 players are going to the bi-weekly finals. That's going to be this weekend. So Azal is already up on the first section with 27.3. 27 points coming in from Yuan in 13th place. That's just under it. And Feng with 21.5 and AS with 16.5. For his AS, if he ends up catching a dub and maybe 1 or 2 eliminations, this could be a huge game for him as well. Another huge game. This could possibly put him in the 20-point spectrum. So let's see what happens. AS on a tough situation here. Oh no! Oh no! The stun actually ends up sending Yuan all the way on the outskirts here, protecting him. AS almost could have been eliminated just off of that stretch here. That could have not been good for him here, as he's going to scale all the way up top here. And then he's going to also capture it, and he goes all the way up. And he's going to try to see if he can hold that as much as he can all the way, knowing that he's on the wrong side of this area here. So he's going to have to grapple as much as he can all the way off the back, so that way he doesn't end up getting caught out. Meanwhile, he's catching some of the other players as well here, as he's going to scale all the way down. The ulti starts to pop. Yuan is going to pop his as well here. He's waiting for the time to strike. He pops his ulti, and he's going to hold it all the way down towards the bottom here. Let's see if any of them is going to have the opportunity. And let's see if Yuan actually uses the strike the way that he wants to, as Azal catches the first elimination here. Yuan dangerously low on both stretches here. Both of them staying alive towards the very end. And it looks like Azal actually catches both of those eliminations here. I think he catches the dub in this game potentially.
It's gonna be
1 point under. He was 1 elimination under. He catches 2 more, and that could be a first place. Azal ends up catching that. That's a dub for him.
Oh, wow. Aizhao with the quick, sneaky comeback, tying first place.
We got, 4 players in one. We had 4 players in another. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how the 1v1s happen a little bit more, especially this early, and see where and how these players are going to take advantage of it. Let's see how it goes on our game number 4 and our final sets of games to see who qualifies for the bi-weeklies for our solos.
And we're taking a look at the scoreboard here. 32.5 is sort of the threshold that these players that are in the bottom right now, from Wu Feng all the way down to DRG's Feng, are going to be trying to pass. Is YZG's TT25 at 32.5 points. It's kind of the goal that these players are going to try and aim for, as these players down, so XY, Feng, and CDY, all XY and Feng and Aizhao, let's say, as well as Chuzhang and Wufeng, they're all very close in points to each other. CDY is less than 20 points, as well as JL's AS and GG Shah and Lipo. These players are all going to have a very difficult time trying to make it back past the red line. So we're going to be seeing it happen here. Edward, with the advanced heal, is going to get himself a lot of extra HP there. Fully back up, but he's going to end up getting hit over and over by Mike, losing so much of his HP here. We're going to see the trigger block coming through, trying to see if he's able to get that charged LMB to connect. The first little bit is going to come through. Mike with the jump parry. Edward going to get sent back to the soul altar early here. Nice clean kill from Mike. Very well played Naraka coming out from him. GG Shah on the offensive against Alliance's Aizhao. Aizhao going to be able to come through with a huge dash play from the Mistblades. Mistblades jump LMB going to come out. GG Shah now forced to hit the ultimate. Aizhao as well going to be using one of those dashes. Invest the second one to just try and get out of that situation. Now, Shah going to be on the bottom side. Ultimate popped. Nobody to use it on. Aizhao backing off. Canceled the ultimate to get a little bit of that charge back. I believe he still has one dash available if he needs. We are going to be seeing CDY now some huge bow shots onto the side of GG Shah. Shah does have that advanced heal though, so it's not going to take too much worry into account, as it looks like Arano has gotten an elimination and passed SR Spider and Fun Plus Phoenix for that fourth place spot. Edward down in 7th, trying to see if he can make something happen. OUG's Mike now, huge meter dump into Lipo. Everybody converging onto this one location. JL's AS with the F ability to knock everyone back. AS needs to go for the reset. CDY trying to follow suit. GG Shah trying to get the kill onto Lipo, but Lipo found himself either an armor swap or a full reset here. It looks like both of these players have found the reset. Nobody engaging. This looks like an end circle right now with the way these players are playing it so close to the vest. As you know, it is the first bi-weekly. You want to make a good impression. Mike, super aggressive. Lipo going to start taking a lot of damage, and the Akos player going to get aggressed on here as JL's AS going to try and make something happen as well. It's back and forth, all of these players not wanting to give up too much, but now GG starting to lose a lot of HP. He's going to try and hold it until he can gain his ultimate back, but it looks like it might be impossible for him to do so, as Lipo giving hot pursuit. The armor swap's going to come out though. GG going to try and go for the overhold. Huge parry going to come out onto Mike. Shaw going to take the brunt of the damage, finds one more armor swap, loses that almost immediately. Who gets the kill? It's CDY from out of nowhere. Ladies and gentlemen, the downtown bow shot is going to pick up the elimination onto GG Shah. Mike going to get a huge parry onto Lipo, but no elimination going to come out of it here, as we're going to see the Shio ultimate getting popped. Nobody has gotten the elimination onto Lipo. He's still escaping with that ult. We're going to see Mike trying to use the Shio ult to pick up the elimination. It looks like he's able to get away. Lipo, incredibly low in HP. Everybody sending the shots off. He's able to get a heal pot off, which is absolutely huge for him here. He could be able to get away from this. Grabs Mike in midair. More Siphon coming out from that as well, as he's going to be able to get the charge attack off. Mike trying to follow suit. Doesn't have is making a little bit of damage. As JL's AS going to steal the kill right from underneath Mike. Mike now becoming the target. Ultimate burn is going to try and just scale out of there as fast as possible, as AS picks up his first kill of the game. CDY now jumping into the mix as well, trying to see if he can get the elimination onto JL's AS. AS not going to give up the offensive on the attack that easily, bringing it back around. We're going to see the Clank come through with the pole sword. Stoneform coming out, going to back off. Parry going to come through. The 1-2 is going to connect. The F ability coming out in a panic from JL's AS. He's bringing it back around, tries to get hit. He does get hit with the overhold here, trying to avoid that from CDY, but CDY is going to keep the pressure up on to OUG's Mike. Ultimate now invested, is going to be able to get a couple of shots off with the ult onto Mike. And now waiting for JL's AS and as well as Mike to see if he can make a play. It looks like he is just going to try and take some space here. Doesn't even get a heal off. As soon as he comes out of that ult, it is going to be absolutely devastating for him if he's not able to connect on any sort of his dashes. Now, very low in HP, just trying to dash away as fast as possible. Sees the blue armor, and it looks like Mike might be able to come out with it. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike cleaning up the kill on CY.
Dude, he absolutely captures him with the combo and really does keep that pressure onto him here. Mike wanted that elimination for a multitude of reasons here, but definitely wanted to really get something for a strong start here. And obviously, he was able to capture it in a great way. Azal is one of the first ones to be able to capture the Realm of Yang ticket. So let's see if he's going to hold strong to it as well here. So let's have a little bit more time here before he actually can be able to get into it, as Fong and Azal fighting it out earlier. And it looks like we're back here in Yuan with GG Shaw here. Oh no, GG Shaw is in the worst place for him to be right here. Getting absolutely depleted of his shield and his heals here. Finds a blue shield swap, unfortunately. And it looks like Yuan decides not to, as he does prioritize the realm. So far, Yuan has been 3 for 3. It's either 3 for 3 or 4 for 4. He hasn't lost the Realm of Yang yet in any of these games. So he's been putting in some work and some effort here. So obviously, it's definitely going to be massively favored towards him. And it'd be interesting to see if we get Mike versus Yuan yet again. Come on. Let me get it.
Mike v XY.
Let's go! Back at it again for the rematch of the century. This is what we wanted to see right here. I put this into the sky front. I just want to put that out there. So I'm very happy. And I'm ready for this one as we go airborne. Let's see if they're going to be able to find the momentum and the timing here, as Mike trying to see if he can close in the gap a little bit more with the nunchucks here. Almost catches him with the blue scale from Juan, but Sally wasn't able to. The defense comes in. Nice little jump shot. Not going to be able to do too much. Both of them having the nunchucks here. Both beautiful strike is going to be able to send him back off the back stretch as well here. Going to take his time. Nice little grapple. Looks like that could have been accidental, but he ends up popping the ulti here. Now he's going to keep the same aggression. He's going to push forward towards it. And it looks like he's going to go a little bit more on the defense, potentially. Oh, ends up doing a grab, but he does it through the wall. Insane work coming in from Mike here. He captures the grab. He gets the shutdown. Mike, you are disgusting, buddy. You are disgusting.
Oh my goodness, that was nasty. And we're getting the second Realm of Yang fight. The start of the second Realm of Yang already before the first one ended. If we're going to see here, WZ Arano going to be taking the full front initiative into this attack. As we do see the Temi using those nunchucks to get some good prio off, and it looks like he's going to be able to get it here with the 2-1-1. WZ Arano cleaning that up so fast, and we're going to get to see all 3 Realm of Yangs. These fights are going so quickly here. Fong in a little bit of a bad position here, trying to make something happen. Gonna pop that Justina alternate. We do see have one more grab available from Xu Zhang. Is gonna try and come out. We're gonna see the ball. Dash coming through from DRG's Fung. I believe he has 2 more dashes available. Could only have 1, as we did see the V come down from DRG's Fung. Fung gonna try and go for the heal. Is gonna be able to catch him into the ball, sends him up into the sky. And he could have won that with the meter dump there easily. But we're gonna see the musket shot come out to finish off the elimination. And there goes Fong Bauda Xu Zhang picking up that beautiful elimination. It's now 07 Edward trying to find a way out of this fight against JL's AS, but it looks like it's not going to be going his way. Edward trying to climb the beautiful bait coming out, but AS already knew what was going on there. He's able to follow that around. Edward does find himself an armor swap, though. AS doesn't know this yet. It looks like he is just going to wait for him to get out. Goes to the reset instead of the chase, and we're seeing XY, CDY, and I believe that's Mike on the other side. It is Mike. All going for some aggressive fights already. SS1 CDY trying to make a getaway here, but it looks like he's getting captured into this fight by not 1 but 2 players. Mike trying to keep the chase up. XY trying as well. No, and look at that. There's not a lot of damage that's coming out from that ultimate. The damage output that you're seeing from the V1. Immortality has not been procced yet. He's going to have infinite shots for another couple of seconds here. We're going to see him use those to just scale as far away as possible. Does miss a gray armor swap there. He could have been able to get the swap off. And it looks like Mike is going to find him before CDY does end up seeing that armor. We're going to see ASC's XY now jumping back into the mix. We're seeing the gray armor swap coming out now. CDY jumping into the air is going to get juggled way through. And now if the ball catch happens, Mike is going to get the elimination, but XY is going to be able to come through with the ball catch on the Liam ultimate. Now Mike versus XY into this fight here. We are going to be seeing the nunchuck chase backing through. 1-2 coming out from Mike. We do have one more ball catch from XY. He is going to be able to make the catch. Throws right away though as DRG's Fung jumping into the mix, trying to see if he can get the third party off. I don't believe XY did get the Soul Bloom, so he is off of Yang depletion, but he does need to get, he does not have the Vermilion's Bird Might to give himself a free life in this game.
Free life here, unfortunately. It doesn't look like it's going to be good for Wufong either, as he just gets eliminated from his Zhao. Meanwhile, they're both going to be fighting this out here, and Chuz is on the backstretch of this one as well here. Both of them with nunchucks. A lot of nunchucks in this game so far here. Definitely the favorite so far in terms of weapon placement. Ends the half, both of them, I think, having the purple. He ends up almost catching him with the juggle, but ends up throwing out the stun with the F key. Really able to just keep that going here, but that momentum from the eliminations only is going to make it better for him as well here. And he's able to find it. Gets the shutdown, and obviously Chuz with that is going to go put the very quick reset. Unfortunate for Chuz, wasn't able to capture another elimination in between all of that. And Fong is on the hunt, headed towards the next realm of Yang, seems like. Or no, is he headed towards a bounty?
He's got the Yang
oh, and it's Mike, of all the people. Of all the people.
Yeah, and he doesn't know that as well. Us as spectators, we're able to know, but in Immortal War, you do not get to know who is the person you've got a bounty on. So we're going to see him make his way over to that section as we are going to get him into a fight right away. Mike, huge parry coming out, no punish damage due to that beautiful ultimate ability of, or the F ability of Baodao's Chuzhang. Chuzhang going to have the ult pop come out, sending DRG's Fong as far away as possible. Doesn't want him to get into this fight. Finding Lipo, though. Lipo getting hyper aggressive into this fight. Oh my goodness, we're going to see the Velocity Untold coming out. Lipo trying to make something happen, but just getting kited around. The dodge work from DRG's Fong right now, and Shaw trying to come into the mix. Huge parry going to come out, though, from Fong. Fong able to absolutely ruin this fight. There's two Akoses coming and fighting against him, but Lipo able to just get a beautiful play coming through, taking out DRG's Fong, turning it around, but the parry coming through was going to deal a lot of damage to Lipo. Shaw coming in, both Akos players not opting to go for the scrap off here, and it looks like they might try and go for the Spirit Well. Mike might even go for the Spirit Well before this Realm of Yang drops, and he's going to try and capture the Spirit Well, get himself a little bit of better equipment and armor, and then jump into this Realm of Yang. It looks like he might have even opted out for the Yang. Baodao's Chuzhang going to hold this here. There's 35 seconds left for these players to make their entrance. Baodao's Chuzhang and WZ Arano in our first Realm of Yang scrap that we are going to be seeing. Our second one could be a big one as well. It looks like Alliance is going to be taking that, and ASE's XY. That is going to be a huge fight, especially for the placement points that these players are trying to go for. These two players are very close in points to each other. Aizen has pulled ahead a little bit. We are going to be seeing Arano, the gold fan in hand, going to get a huge parry on Baodao's Chuzhang. No punish damage coming through, but the Tai Chi fan coming out from Arano a little bit there that we saw happen. The ball is not going to connect off the first one. Ultimately going to be invested, and now here we go. The musket shots are going to come through. Not able to get the restand with this ultimate. We know that happens on lots of times. We do see the restand happen. Cannon shots coming out from everywhere. 1 HP and a dream now for Chuzhang. He's able to get a heal pot off, though. The huge LMB coming through from Baodao's Chuzhang, be able to deal a lot of damage. Scale rush away now. Arano on the back foot of this fight now. Needs to get a pot off. We're going to see Chuzhang with a huge pot, and this could keep him in the game here. As we're going to see the ability coming out. Arano throwing that up onto the top, trying to see if the musket's going to be able to do anything. Switching from the cannon to the musket for his ranged weapons. Chuzhang has been allowed to heal so much in this fight, and I believe it's going to be Arano's downfall. Yes, it is, ladies and gentlemen. Baodao's Chuzhang coming through with a beautiful elimination. He was able to get 3 pots off during that fight. No pots were available for his opponent, and he's able to capitalize and take advantage, coming away with a beautiful elimination as Chuzhang wins his Realm of Yang.
Solid dub, though, coming through. I think this is his first dub for the Realm of Yang, too. I think he's hopped in 2 and he's lost both. Or actually just 1. unfortunately. So it's good to see that his first one is definitely on the better end of certain things here. As just gonna have to continue on the rotation here. 4.5 minutes left. He still has a decent amount of time here, but knowing that there's an interesting amount of players is not looking good here. But let's see how he lost the realm of Gang inside against Yuan. Another player that we've wanted to see a rebate on as well here. Looks like he takes the time here trying to see if he can capture the shield. He does end up depleting it, but he ends up getting it back though from the cannons. Nice little bit of freeze. Both of them heading for the blue LMBs, trying to wait it out on both sides here. Looks like blue LMBs trying to connect, not too much here. Pops open the ulti here, trying to see if maybe he can capture the freeze, not too much. Ooh, nice little bit of a defense off that. I'm surprised he hasn't used any of his strike methods for it, and he ends up capturing the juggle. Oh, and he throws him in a ball, and Yuan just absolutely finishes him off too. The absolute disrespect. And that's how Azal is in the position that he is. Hi, you're probably wondering how I got in this situation. Dun, 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 dun. I'm here in the field. Sorry.
Azal, Yang depletion, as well as WZ's Arano. These are both of the players who are going to be on Yang depletion. So we're going to be seeing them in both attempting to get an elimination here. And it looks like Mike has become the target of Arano. And ASE's XY giving pursuit as well. That White Tiger's prowess buff, which is doing a lot of favors for Arano right now onto OUG's Mike. Not doing too many favors for him if he's got to turn this fight around back over to XY. And, you know, we do know that XY being a bloom stealer, as most of these players are going to try and be to keep their opponents from curing that Yang depletion and keeping themselves into this game. OUG's Mike taking the top side here. We're going to see now Aizen jumping into the mix. WZ Arano nowhere to be found as he is going to be in the backside now. Aizen going to just use his ult to escape here. Wasn't able to use it for the offensive. Going to make that executive decision. He needed to invest the ultimate to get out of there as fast as possible as Chuzhang giving hot pursuit of this elimination. Great fan in hand for him as well. He doesn't have the greatest scaling right now. I believe he might have some better stuff in his back pocket, but Chuzhang able to catch up to him. Knowing these movement patterns of these players is something that's very important, as you're going to be able to know the habits and where these players are going to try and move around. It's something that you might try to do yourself. So now Aizen turning the fight around. Only a gray fan though, not that much damage output coming from him. He's going to be able to make it into the building. On the other side, weaving and ducking all of these players here as Arano still trying to make something happen. The charge is going to connect, but it's still just a gray fan. He needs a better weapon. I believe he's just using that for the mobility. We do see the purple nunchucks come out of the back pocket there. He did have a ranged weapon before. Switching over to those nunchucks, we are going to see him try and come on an offensive attack here, but Arano just giving so much pressure on that tumult. It's very difficult for Aizen, to make anything happen. Arano as well trying to make something happen. They're both on that Yang depletion. This could be very crucial for them if they want to come away with the victory. And it looks like Arano sees Aizen, and if they fight together, if they're going to fight against each other, this could be good for the two of them. One of them is going to be able to come away with that soul bloom. The other one is going to get eliminated. Arano going to be able to get the cannon shot off, tries to bring it back around. The ultimate is going to be invested to try and isolate this fight between just the two of them. Aizen able to escape though. XY is going to end up finding out where Aizen goes, and oh my goodness, the blistering edge from Edward is going to come through doing so much damage. Aizen, 1 HP in a dream. Edward, Eddie with the snipe going to come through, and I believe we did see the bloom getting picked up by WZ's Arano. Arano going to be still in this game. Ladies and gentlemen, able to get the comeback.
Nice comeback here as Arano just trying to see if he can get out of this as best as possible here. Definitely a lot of effectiveness overall here. Just trying to take his time, not really going through an insane, just a load of just a lot of different things here. He's trying to take his time. As Arano, Chuz, and Mike are down low here. Definitely a lot more players, I think, in this lobby towards the end of these circles than we've had. Usually we end up with like, you know, about 4, maybe 5. So to see 7, definitely seeing some players start to play it safe, be a little bit more smarter in certain areas in terms of what they're doing. See if they can take their time and find it here. As now both of them are just going to be waiting this out here. Ooh, I don't know how those both didn't hit each other. At least I don't think so. Oh, man. Shaw just trying to see if he can get some nice action out of that one as well. Arano with the cannons. Trying to connect on a different level here. Yuan just trying to gatekeep as much as possible here. Wants it for himself. That's a little bit of hopping for other areas here. He's able to capture it. He gets the gold shield and he's out. Just like that. Or he targets Mike? Maybe?
He's going to try and get aggressive here. It doesn't look like he's going to try and go for Mike. Lipo, though, has been spotted here. He's going to try and capture him.
Oh,
he does
no.
get the capture. This is going to send him through. And this is where it's going to get risky for him. He's got another one of those balls to send out. He is going to capture Lipo again, sending him against the wall. This is going to be bad for him here. He could lose all of his HP. There we go. Lipo on the back foot now, trying to see if he can make something happen. Is going to find himself a purple armor swap. So this is left him chilling here, able to get himself out of this situation. Did have to burn the ultimate though. XY still has that second ultimate available thanks to that spirit will capture of the Mystic Might buff. He does now have full ult available if he needs. Was able to burn that one to try and get an elimination. It was a good effort. Lipo did have the Akos ult, which is the maximum mobility that you're going to be able to get to try and run away from somebody chasing you down like XY. But XY has found him again. Lipo going to try and make something happen now. XY taking a cannon shot or two. Going to be able to heal that up. Trying to still keep this fight up onto Lipo. Lipo now taking so much damage. I don't know who sent that musket shot, but it was detrimental to his HP. We're going to see the ultimate getting invested a second time here. ASC's XY going to try and catch him out. Is going to be able to catch him this time for sure. He finishes it off. But oh my goodness, the clank coming in from Edward, saving Lipo and finishing off this elimination is going to be ASC's XY oh my goodness, he went down to the Bane. XY gets the kill, finished off from the Bane, but now he's in a lot of trouble. He has passed Wolves on the leaderboard, so he's now in the top 12 in 11th place, but the whole group is chasing him, and GG Shaw picks up an elimination, but also goes down. That is 4 eliminations for the Bane so far today, ladies and gentlemen. We just saw XY pick up a kill with the Bane. We see GG Shaw pick up the kill with the Bane, and GG Shaw himself gets sent out of the lobby by the Bane. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. What did we learn? Did we not learn anything? Bane is the real MVP of all these games. It just absolutely screwed up Edward and GG Shaw's day. Even though GG Shaw did get the elimination credit on to XY, oh my goodness, triple uppercut.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness, Arano in a lot of trouble here. Chuzhang is going to be now on the back foot though, very low in HP. OUG's Mike is going to see this and try and capitalize. Chuzhang going to just try and go out into the zone here. Mike not going to follow, doesn't want to lose that much damage to zone take, but Chuzhang brought himself extremely low. The scale rush going to come out from Mike. Mike going to try and make something happen. The meter dump coming through, but the F ability invested from Mike. Chuzhang 1 HP and a dream right now. Can't go back into the storm. The scale rush coming through, and Mike picks up another kill.
I mean, he's taking his time here and really just maintaining like that amount of power that he has for each player that he's really able to like really conquer in these moments here. And just like that, I mean, Mike really able to just really cause some issues here. This is definitely going to be most likely Mike's game. Like, he has the momentum, he has everything that he needs to really be able to slow down and really conquer the rest of this game out. Meanwhile, Arano, beautiful. It's not Arano, Edward with the parry. And then Mike comes through to steal the elimination away. Ladies and gentlemen, this is about to be a free pick and a free finish for Mike here in this game. For his dub, his first dub of the night. All he has to do is take his time here in this final elimination here, and he's got it. Even if he loses this specifically too, he still is going to walk away with the dub. Mike playing this so well overall, being so aggressive. Beautiful juggle coming through. Nice pick from the RMB to be able to keep that same momentum going here. He's going to try to see if he can run towards it with that. Nice little bit of a strike. He's just trying to get him off the wall here. Going to try to see if he can scale it, but I think he scaled it in the wrong direction here. Meanwhile, Edward is definitely on the defense, trying to see if he can get away just a little bit, just to try to stall him out just a little while longer here. But you know, when it comes to him, he's not going to stall this out. He wants to fight this, and he actually decides he's going to pop shield. He's going to pop shield here as Edward was still trying to go through the movement here. Let's see. Mike decides to go just do a little bit of some looting, see if there's anything good on him, and decides not to. Doesn't look like it. Now it's just a 1v1 mano-a-mano between Edward and Mike. We've seen this battle before. Nice hits from the dagger here. Trying to see if he can maneuver towards the back. Beautiful stun to be able to get him off his back as well here. Take his time. Beautiful R&B connect with the blade. Ooh, nice quick pull from the pistol as well here. Gonna get him a nice up there in the air. Oh no, here comes the juggle. Actually from Edward. He's gonna be able to read that pretty well here overall. Whoa, big parry coming in from Edward. Wait a minute. Could he actually stall him out of this game? He might actually be able to get him out. Oh, and he dies from outside the circle. Edward actually clutches it and gets those 2 extra points, which is so gonna be helpful for him here because he needs it so badly.
Eddie. Oh my, Eddie! Oh my goodness, what a parry. The Lanny ultimate, he catches the uppercut into the Lanny hit extension. Mike is still going to come away our MVP for the day, but OA's Edward picking up his second elimination, getting the multiplier, getting the first place.
That's going to be interesting. So a lot of warmer areas for this game here. Definitely a decent amount of players in certain areas, but there's so many buildings. There's so much terrain in different areas here. I feel like we won't see too many aggressive initial fights here. This might be the place where people start to play a little bit safe in certain situations, and let's see how they play it in this game. Number 5, we're 2 games away from taking 6 players out of this equation, and we're taking 12 to the bi-weekly grand finals coming up.
OUG's Mike on the back foot of a fight already. It looks like Arano did catch him off guard a little bit, and Mike is going to end up having to back off of this, using that dagger for some extra movement, switching over to the dual blades when he wants to get into this fight. Great dagger in hand for that extra movement. Look at him moving around. As you said earlier, one of the best in-class movement players of all of NARAKA, as we're going to see them jumping in dual blades versus dual blades. The prio is going to go over to Arano, but the F ability invested to avoid any damage output coming from that combo. Wufeng is on the ballista. This could be lethal for both of them. Does connect on the ballista shot there. On both of these players are going to be experiencing the burn. No ulti going to get popped here as Mike is going to try and back out of the ballista range. Going close to the zone. Both of these players using that F ability to try and get out of a combo, but brings himself right into it. Arano now on the back foot. Going to get caught by a combo again. Ultimate invested now. Mike on the back foot trying to run away. Is going to get himself grabbed. Tries to run to that no ult zone. F ability going to be popped to Wufeng jumping back into the mix. We're going to see him up over to the no ult zone, so he's able to keep away from Arano. Doesn't want to get jumped back into the mix. Jump parry going to come out from Wufeng. Wufeng going to be able to get the 1-2 off 1-2 again, and there we go. Mike getting eliminated. The bow shot coming in from Arano, and a huge parry going to come out from him as well. Wufeng now on the back foot. He did get the prio, but tries to go for the parry there. Oh my goodness, huge grapple cancel coming in from Wufeng. Almost able to make some crazy plays happen off of that. Is able to get the charge attack over. Wufeng doing a beautiful job of ducking and dodging, iframing every single attack that is being thrown out. And Wufeng just piecing up Arano so quickly here. TE's Wufeng climbing up further in the standings, and now Wolves has officially been knocked out of the top 12. YZG, the next non-playing player today, to get knocked out, and now we're going to see a huge Tesla Charm coming out, but it looks like ASC's XY on the back foot of this fight here. JL's AS trying to make something happen. Overhold twice in a row is going to connect, but AS does have that ultimate available. We are going to see that get popped out, and now XY on the back foot. This is going to be detrimental to him here. He needs to be able to kite this out, and it looks like he might be able to get away. Asia still hot in pursuit. And the next player who's close enough to qualify is going to be DRG's Fong. At 23 points, he needs to get 7 points in the next 2 games to qualify, as 30.5 is now the threshold for qualifying here. 32.5 is the guaranteed threshold for qualifying. If you pass that, you've got yourself another spot. It's going to be difficult for the likes of AS, CDY, and Fong to try and make that happen, but they're going to try nonetheless, as it looks like AS trying to make the play onto ASC's XY. XY very low in HP, does have that ultimate available again in just a second here. We are going to see the 1-2 coming out, and now, oh my goodness, Chu Zhang with the gold pole sword going to come in, picking up a beautiful elimination cleanup with the gold pole sword. Asia now on the back foot. JL's AS and Alliance's Asia going at it together, and Baoda's Chu Zhang trying to see if he can make something happen on the third party. Doesn't want to invest too crazily here, but he is looking for another kill to reduce his points.
I'm thinking really keep that observation going here as Edward looks like he wants to try to fight this out with Fong here. He does realize he has Gray Shield, right? Like, he does realize that, right? As Fong ends up remembering and showing him to remember, hey, you still have Gray Shield there, buddy, as he ends up getting a beautiful parry off of him off the back here. Waiting for the blue strike to try to see if he can connect it. There's Fong. Oh, catches him on this next stretch here, trying to see if maybe he can keep the maneuvers going, but he stops the momentum, and now he's right back to him face to face here. He says, oh no, buddy. You wanted this pick. You wanted this energy. Let's get it now. He's catching off the other side here, trying to see if maybe he can get him before he pops the shield, and he does. And now he's back at it. He's getting a little bit more confidence here now that he has that shield back up here, waiting for the parry, but sadly just misses out on it, and he dodges it just a little while longer. Same thing with the next parry. Ends up doing the exact same thing. With that dagger, he's able to put a lot of damage together on this as well here, and he's not giving him an opportunity to clutch this up. Edward, what are you doing, buddy? You got Gray Shield. Fong is already in the space. He's feeling good, and he comes through and absolutely wrecks him for our first for another elimination into this game. Man.
Fong is just the movement that he's able to show with the dagger is just absolutely insane. His mix-ups are on point. He never throwing that soul break out. He's just doing such a phenomenal job. He's going to be able to buy a Moonbane, throw it down on to the Yang portal closest to him to guarantee himself a free entrance into that realm of Yang. He's able to just chill out on the Great Wall here, able to get himself a little bit of better loot, bring himself over to that Yang portal as soon as he's ready, capture it, take the Yang fight with a purple dagger in hand. Fong is unstoppable. He's at 24 points at the moment. He needs 6 more points, 6.5 points to be able to bring himself up. So he does need that MVP. And, you know, speak of the devil, Thorny Roller in play here. We could see a beautiful roller kill come out from any of these players right now, if we're lucky, as Mike can have almost all of his shield burned off. He gets an armor swap and then burns it again. As no roller play. Oh my goodness, we almost saw it. Aizen getting extremely low. Please, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to see the roller. Aizen is going to get caught in a leap here, getting sent out, and he gets eliminated before he's able to take his soul. So I believe he is fully eliminated from this game here, as we're going to see now Mike. Huge ACCA combo coming through from the Hung Sword is going to be able to knock Wukong back. And now the Realm of Yang spawning Mike just going to opt to go in there facing against CDY. What a beautiful play. I don't know if Aizen is still alive. It was right as the souls were dissipating out. If you don't know, you do have a free revive at the start of the game, ladies and gentlemen, but if you haven't used it after a certain amount of time, it does go away, as we are going to see here. Oh my goodness, Mike. Beautiful prio catch. Burns both F and the ult of CDY right off the bat here. Now Mike going to pop his ultimate, trying to see if he can make something happen. He is going to be able to get the freeze into the uppercut, into the second uppercut, into the jump LMB, into the next freeze, into the elimination. Textbook TOD from the Justina, as OUG's Mike picking up a beautiful elimination onto SS1 CDY. We're going to flip over. Beautiful parry from DRG's Fong into the parry punish, the grapple bump extension into the 1.0. Catches the beautiful elimination. Now Fong going to get himself dazzled here, but AS making a little bit of a misplay. Wasn't able to capitalize on damage. Fong just running around, not even using any stamina to make these dashes happen, is able to just ring around the rosy this perfectly. He has barely lost any HP right now, as Fong able to just pop that F ability as soon as AS gets out of that ultimate. We're seeing the ultimate pop coming through now from Fong. Fong has this in the bag. All he needs to do is get the elimination in the next 44 seconds. Otherwise, they are both going to get themselves eliminated. Fong trying to give the chase. Jail's doing a really good job of kiting this out here, but it looks like he's finally been caught out. Engraving going to come out from the longsword. Fong still trying to give the chase as best as possible, is unable to catch up with where AS is going. And this could be a timer, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know, the timer on the top of your screen here that's saying 19 seconds left is going to be to where this fight's going to end. They have 14 seconds left, 13, and AS is going to get a huge parry. DRG's Fong trying to flip the fight around here, is unable to make anything happen, and it looks like they could both be eliminated. 4 seconds left, no chance in getting parried now. Trying to finish it off, almost does it. a couple more seconds, the fight would have been Fong's. They both take the Yang depletion and head back to the Soul Altar. No buff and no rewards for either of them.
Let's see if they can keep that amount of momentum going here as we see Wufong in a tough situation here, dangerously low, but you got Mike right behind him as well. Oh, ends up catching him with the parry here. He is also dangerously low here, and he's just trying to see if he can get out of the harm's way, and it looks like he was able to here, just in the nick of time here. And now the chase comes through from Arano as Mike decides he's going to go for the shield real quick, and he's going to see if maybe he can still continue to pursue this, but maybe with like some more heals here as he tries to time it just enough but not enough to be able to capture it here, as he does end up catching him with it. The ball ends up trying to see if he can get a little bit of damage, but nothing too consistently. And he does see Arano. Now he pops open his ulti here, and now both of them just trying to scramble it away as now, oh, just trying to see if he can time it. He ends up finding a great shield swap. He gets so lucky, both of them damaging it out, and Mike ends up stealing the elimination away from Arano. Arano putting in so much effort and so much work just for Mike, just to be able to let him do majority of the work, just to steal it away from here. That's what we call highway robbery, ladies and gentlemen, as Arano is now going to take it to the next step. And he says, I'm going to take you out too. He does already have that Vermilion, so he's already feeling decent towards it here. If he gets the elimination, it doesn't really matter. He got the free pick. Question is, can he do it again? Nice slam coming through as he ends up throwing through the shield with the Justina. And now he's going to continue to press on this subject. And he does take the heal. Now outside of the skirts of the circle, Shad, fine, fighting this out here. And it looks like it's getting real physical there on both sides here as one of them ends up dropping their weapon because of the parry. And Fong is now on the retreating side here. Definitely tough here as Shaw wants to try to see if maybe he can capture a combo here in this. Fong almost trying to throw him back there with the fan, forcing the ulti to pop off here. Doesn't necessarily want to use it, but has to use it for one of those last results here when you're definitely, the back is against you and you're having a tough time with it here. Let's see if he can try to close it off just a little while longer here. Ooh, as he ends up catching him with the chokehold, but sadly he catches him with the ball. He goes for the shield. He throws him out. He's going to try to see if he can time it just a little while longer here. But now both of them trying to scrounge it up a little bit more. He has to be a little careful just because he doesn't want to get grabbed by the ball here. And that could be an easy finish for him here if he's not paying attention, if he's not careful.
Yeah, DRG's Fong now is going to get himself parried. GG Shaw with the jump LMB to be able to confirm extra damage coming through there. Fong going to try and make his escape now as GG Shaw in full pursuit. Fong had that fight in the bag, does end up getting grabbed by the ball in the second time as soon as he launched that Shyle attack out. Stuck in so many frames, being able to just hold that through. You're not able to dodge, and we could see the Thorny Roller coming into play again here as they are going to take their way to the middle of the map. It looks like nobody going to get hit. Mike is going to be able to get that elimination onto Arano that we saw happening earlier, but DRG's Fong fighting for his life right now, tries to go for the armor swap, is going to be able to get himself a little bit of a half armor. Lipo is going to end up going out to the zone here. Unfortunate ending for him there, as it looks like that's his full game number one. He has given it up. He knows that it is going to be difficult for him to be able to make any sort of placement into the rest of this game, and that is going to be it for him in game number 5. GG Shaw trying to make pace and follow up as DRG's Fong are dagger kiting gone, able to get the R&B over top through, as we're going to see another huge parry coming out now. GG Shaw losing those gold fist blades as they're going to be taking to the air of the bottom of the puzzle area here, as we're seeing by Salvation Podium. DRG's Fong trying to get away, or trying to give chase, as GG Shaw now very, very low in HP. The overhold going to come through, but the one into the jump LB. GG Shaw goes down. That's 17th place for him. Jails AS is going to get bumped up a spot. DRG's Fong at 26 points total here. This means that he is now only still 4.5 points away, because now the threshold is 30.5. OUG's Mike now facing off against JL's AS. OA's Edward versus Baoda's Chujang in the second realm Yang.
If he's able to find it here inside of this realm, both of them is most likely probably going to go airborne here, as one does. The other one decides not to here. Notice that a lot more here, where both of them don't always end up throwing themselves all the way up in the air. So OUG's Mike, let me try to see if he can find it. Nice little strikes here to try to see if he can connect. Oh, AS finds him with the parry. Beautiful combo strike with it. Oh my goodness, he's going to try to see if he can eliminate him off the first real fight. Even with this, though, definitely not good, though, knowing that Mike is up. He has that momentum. He knows exactly what he needs to do here. Beautiful slam off of that with the spear here. And now here comes the pursuit. He pops the ulti. He's going to start to throw it with the blinding. He has the ulti as well here, so that just he's going to try to see if he can make enough noise. Oh, my goodness. AS just eliminated Mike out of the realm of Yang. Unbelievable.
Oh my goodness. And now, speaking of Mike, we've got the Bumbledog fan skin on Edward, trying to make something happen. Goes to the uppercut, doesn't connect. Bada Shujang going to come in with a huge scale rush. Big follow-up coming through with that pole sword. Huge damage able to come out from the front of the pole sword scale rush. It is one of the most lethal attacks in all of NARAKA. We're going to see the F ability coming out again. Shujang forced to pop that ultimate. We are going to see Edward still has ult and F available. They're trying to see if he can go for a bit of a heal pot. Is going to end up scale rushing away. Does not connect onto the laser pulse here, as we're going to be seeing him trying his best not to get stunned. It looks like Edward doing a really good job of kiting this out here. Has not gotten himself stunned yet. Is able to bring himself into that ult. Huge parry going to come out as well. F ability invested again for Shujang, so he does not get hit from that. We now have Edward full frontal attack with this ultimate. Oh my goodness, as we are going to see coming through. Big jumping R&B coming through from Shujang with that pole sword. Edward going to try and get a heal pot up. Oh, but there's only 1 second left in the realm of Yang. Both of these players are going to be on Yang depletion. That's our second tie that we have seen today, ladies and gentlemen. DRG's Fung was able to get himself a soul bridge, and now JL's AS on the outside of the realm of Yang, taking on OUG's Mike. Mike is getting absolutely blitzed down by AS here. As we are going to see, he does have that Aurora Burst Soul Jade available that you're seeing him try and pop time and time again. Now Mike on the back foot here does have that Yang depletion. Huge parry going to come out. Sap damage going to come into play. AS now needs to make this play work for him here, as it looks like Mike got himself parried. Is going to get himself stunned out here. This could be horrible for him. No ultimate available for Mike. No way he does the exact same move twice onto Mike. Trying to get the stun off Mike. Trying to kite away into an open area. This isn't the place you want to be fighting against. Oh my goodness, he makes it away. 1 second remaining. No ammo left in. Oh, he switches over. He's got a chicken. He's got the rubber chicken. Repeating crossbow. AS needs to hit one shot from the crossbow to be able to come away with any sort of thing. Jump LMB's coming out to try and make the play happen. Mike is 1 HP in a dream right now. He's lost him. Where is Mike gone? Mike is going to get hit. Jumping LMB. Mike taken out of the race. But ladies and gentlemen, Mike is already in first place. He's taken over and absolutely crushed WBG's verse at 57.6 points. Verse only at 53.3. He is way over the top of what he needs to be to catch first place. Mike doesn't even need to play game number 6. He is going to get more proposed points, but what a beautiful elimination from JL's AS, and we've still got 2 players with Yang depletion, Bada Shujang and OA's Edward.
But you see what I mean, though, by like, this is the moment where they start to grief more. This is one of those moments here. Surprisingly, this is the first time we've ever seen Yuan with a donut. At least during these games right now. Now that could change, but usually throughout these last couple of games we've been dealing with, he's gotten 2, maybe even 3 eliminations by the time we get to this point. So it's the first time I've actually seen him have nothing. Overall here, as we see Chuz all the way up top, and now we're focusing on Fung and AS, who are down at the bottom here. 26 and 20 points. AS is gonna have to do a lot of magic in these next 2 games. He's really gonna see himself in qualifying, knowing they have to go up past Wolves, who's in 30 points right now, who has officially not qualified because he's not playing any of these games for tonight. Now, this also could be really interesting for Fung as well, as he's close to the chopping block, but at the same time, all Fung has to do, at least in especially this last game, get a couple of eliminations, get himself in the top 3, and he will also be able to qualify too, because if Az, Zhuan, and Wu Feng go past YZG, who has 32.5 points, which that's most likely easy because they're only a point to 2 point difference, then that means that YZG is going to be in the 12th place position. And that means that Feng has a chance to put himself in qualifying. So he's in a decent area here, but the one thing he wants to be is past that in the qualifying, above that red line. Now, here we go. You were talking about the thorny low roller. Let's see if maybe they might get lucky here. Let's see if you might be able to get the pick you wanted. As both of them are going to try to go back towards the outskirts here. They're going to take their time maneuvering through it. Oh, and it looks like they're going to be able to catch him on the inskirts here. Trying to see if he can catch him on the outside of the door, and he does. He says what's up to him, giving him a nice little greeting or welcome. Chilla's trying to see if maybe he can capture something as well, as the Bane's Breath is about to end. Or no, it's about to start, actually.
Yeah, that Bane's Breath covering about 80% of the playable area, making it very difficult for where these players are going to want to position themselves. They're going to find everybody really close to each other. And with 2 players on Yang depletion, it is going to be very interesting to see who is going to be trying to surf the Bane. It looks like Edward might just try and get out of here immediately. And wow, there he goes. Edward going to just send himself into the zone to try and reposition instead of trying to traverse the Bane. But Chujang sees that, is going to try and position himself in a fashion where he's able to take the elimination onto Edward. Chujang needs this Soul Bloom. Ultimate is going to get invested though. Chujang going to be able... Edward going to be able to get himself a bit of a reset. Now Chujang able to pass through very easily, as we're going to see Edward taking to the skies, seeing if anybody's going to get hit by the Thorny Roller, as everybody bringing down at the bottom of Salvation Podium, as Fong trying to make the escape happen, unable to connect with the roller. Barry going to come in, Fong with a huge Barry, F ability now invested for Chujang. Chujang going to bring it back around with a huge scale rush play. Thorny Roller passing again and again. Chujang going to try and make something happen, flips it around with the Pull Sword 1.0, brings it back, is going to be able to just hold that for the focus scale rush. Fong doing a great job of just holding, waiting for Chujang to bring that scale rush and blocking the stone form attacks over and over, forcing Chujang to just take a little bit of chip damage every single time the roller comes around. We're going to see it happen. Oh my goodness, I thought we were going to get the Chujang death on the roller, as we're going to see the follow-up from the Pull Sword Stormform is going to be able to come through, dealing a little bit of damage there. Follow-up again, focus attack coming through, ultimate now invested. DRG's Fong just doing a beautiful job. ASC's XY going to get a pick onto OA's Edward though. First elimination for Edward of the game, and oh my goodness, roller.
There it is.
Oh my goodness. DRG's Fong barely missing that, as we're going to bring it around. And Baoda's Chujang is going to get eliminated by the Yang depletion. There's 3 players left. DRG's Fong being one of them here, as you're going to see getting that hit off from the Xiao ultimate is going to give him a little bit of help. And now 26.5 points. He's only 5.5 points away from coming away with that top spot. JL's AS going to take it back from underneath. Everybody going back top side now. DRG's Fung has used his ultimate, so he could be the target of the lobby, but ASC's XY is on Tessa, which is why he hasn't had such a crazy game. I believe he is on a less favorable hero here, and we're going to see, oh my goodness, what a beautiful drop down AoE effect attack that we're going to see there. The Aurora Burst putting in some work. DRG's Fung not going to fall for it though, as the Bane's going to come through. I believe AS was hit a couple of times. Ladies and gentlemen, what have we learned? The Bane is not for surfing. The Bane is for running away from. We're going to see F ability invested from DRG's Fung. AS really trying hard to get this elimination. He wants to secure these kills. Both of these players need points if they want to be able to compete for that 12th place position, and it is not looking too good for either of them. JL's AS gonna get hit, almost hit by the Bane again. DRG's Fong is gonna be the one to get clipped by the Bane, as these players are just fighting on the outskirts here, trying to make something happen. Fong doing a very good job of kiting away though. If the triple Bane does hit, it's gonna be absolute insanity here, as Fong just moving and schmoving away. Doesn't want any of this smoke. JL's AS doing a really good job of keeping up the pressure. Fong still trying to back away. 14 seconds left on the F ability to be able to try and recharge here. And looks like ASC's XY going to try and jump into the mix as well. Fong able to find himself just a little nice spot to go for a reset. Has most of his armor back now. And XY trying to jump into the fight as well. These players are just playing ring around the map with each other. Wow, Dobby, this is absolutely insane.
It's a tough one for sure here. Definitely down toward the bottom here. I did say this is the type of fighting that I wanted to see from some of these bottom frags. I wanted to see them absolutely duking at it, because sometimes those are the moments here where it's really going to be important for some of these other areas to see how we can be able to take it all the way to the top here. As Fung is getting absolutely destroyed here. He might get stuck on the stun. Is he going to have to stop it here as he almost gets caught up? Oh, and he ends up getting rid of the stun just in the nick of time here. That could have been really bad. He seems to be getting hit with the full sword, but not enough here. Ooh, catches him with the grab. The combo from Juan. Juan also as well here, as both of them kind of double team him as well towards this.
Oh my goodness.
It could be tough here.
Oh my goodness, DRG's Fong almost had the amazing grab onto JL's AS, and he was fully open for an elimination. Nobody capitalizing on that though. It looks like everybody going for a reset here. We had AS close to death. Now ASC's XY getting focused onto by JL's AS. AS just in need of kills right now. It's going to get brought extremely low here. No ult zone pop, which is good for nobody but Fong here. But ASC's XY finding a crack in the area where he's going to be able to get that Tessa stun off onto JL's AS, and in the storm, look at how much damage he's going to be taking in the zone here. Fong focusing on to XY though. JL's AS extremely low here. Going to try and pop that overhold. Isn't going to be able to connect on it. Needs to pop that so he isn't having anybody coming up close to him. And it looks like Fong is going to be able to get the elimination onto AS. Fong picking up a beautiful kill. The Soulboom gonna go to XY though. No ult zone is popped, so XY gonna try and play on the outskirts of that. Able to get the ultimate off, but a beautiful tap dodge from DRG's Fong. If Fong gets this elimination and he gets the multiplier with the placement points, this could be really good for him to be able to get into this final area. ASC's XY already passing YGG's T225, so he's already secured his spot almost guaranteed here in this last game. DRG's Fong needs this though. If he doesn't get it, it's gonna be a lot more difficult for him to qualify. 28 points on the board for him, 33.5 for ASC's XY. This is the make or break fight. Parry gonna come out, XY, F ability invested. Fong now gonna get hit by the prio again. Oh, beautiful tap dodge away from that here as he's able to get the timing in the last second. Wants to switch to the fan, that's his most comfortable weapon. We're seeing him come through, scale rush into the uppercut. Doesn't connect off of anything as well though. We might get to see this no ult zone start to end. This could bode well for him. He doesn't even have ult back up yet though. This could be very dangerous. Able to dodge the Dragon's Rush into the Nejas. Doesn't connect off of that. The scale rush is going to come through though. F ability invested. Ultimate coming up from both of these players as soon as the ult comes through here. Able to deal some damage, but DRG's Fong now gonna get hit. Oh wait, XY blunder. What a blunder coming through from XY. He was able to capitalize off the fact that he was Tessa stunned, but the ultimate gonna come through. DRG's Fong formed eliminations. XY through the game. He was so close to coming away with the elimination. All he needed was one big shot from the pull sword. He doesn't come away with it. Ladies and gentlemen, DRG's Fong, I believe he could have clinched the spot. I think he's got it. What a play.
He just got... Wow. That was an insane finish here. Fong really actually passed the river, which means that's near Daylili's Meadow. So we have maybe 2 to 3 singular fights, such as this one right here with Fong and CDY. CDY does not need to throw this early, knowing he doesn't have any weapons on him at all whatsoever here. There's no way he gets elimination just by punching, right? There's no way. We rarely see melee elimination happen here.
Oh my God, boy. He gets it.
Wait,
he gets it.
Wait! Did we just see a melee elimination happen in NBPL?
And
what?
That's DRG's Fong, too. That is the one player that we did not want to be losing points. He needs to get his eliminations here, and that is so unfortunate for him, as well as JLZS, another player who we need to see come away with kills, and he does pick up an elimination here. If AS and CDY are the only players getting kills at this point right now, and we see them pop off 11, 12-point games here, this could be absolute insanity, as we're going to see now. TE's Wufeng. Wufeng, another player who is close to the chopping block right now. If he doesn't perform well, he's going to put himself in a lot of danger. He just needs one kill to put him into that safe zone, though, as we are seeing now. It looks like Lipo going to get taken down extremely low. F ability invested, but Wufeng is going to pick up the elimination. Xu Zhang trying to see if he can steal the kill. Isn't going to be able to get the kill steal though, but the 1-2 going to come out, trying to get the prio off. Xu Zhang is going to end up popping that F ability to avoid the assault of Wufeng. Wufeng still trying to keep up chase though, as Xu Zhang doing a very good job of kiting out. Oh my goodness, the crossbow shots coming in from out of nowhere, taking TE's Wufeng for a little bit of a stun. F ability popped. Wufeng in danger here. Needs to get a pot off, but he is technically safe now, unless Feng, AS, and CDY all have the most insane games known to mankind. We are going to be seeing them in the finals.
See here, even with that all the way, that kind of momentum is pretty strong for a lot of different areas here. We're going to see the fights happening. Fong trying to see if maybe he can clutch it up just a little bit more. Ends up catching the grab, gets the finishing stun. But the question is can he finish the fight? He ends up getting it all the way towards the very end, but he turns around and Chuds is able to get the shutdown from the Justina ult. The timing couldn't have been any better. All throughout all of this. Really was able to find it. And now here goes the next 4 stretch here. Like I said, it's a lot of times where we won't be able to see too many fights happen for AS here. He's got a very long way to go. 2 eliminations already, so definitely a decent start, but he's already been eliminated once, so now he has to play this a little bit smarter. Unfortunately, not the best timing for him, though. Now look at YZG. YZG 32-2.3. Fong, all he needs is 2 points. All Zhao needs to do is get 1 point. Ladies and gentlemen, both of them will be able to qualify, and YZG is out. And Wolves has officially moved himself out as well here, as Yuan is just trying to maneuver this out. He's in a decent spot here, but he's at 33.5 here, so he definitely does not need to get eliminated this early. Oh my goodness, it's a Rano. Hits him with the finish, with the longsword, getting tallied in the back, getting absolutely blinded. And one of the other players, definitely a tough space for him to be here in this final section here, as Arano, it's absolutely gets double pelted by the longsword, as Al's gonna try to see if he can keep the same momentum right on him. But here comes Arano, trying to see if he can drop him with the drop. He has to be careful though with the stun. Finds him on the next one. Here comes the stun. Blue LMB is gonna try to see if he can target. Captures the double, and Azal gets the first elimination and moves YZG down into the 12th place position. All Fong needs to do is stay alive for 2 more points, ladies and gentlemen. YZJ is out, and Fong is in.
Asia with a crazy jump LMB from 1 HP in a dream to be able to come back and bring that through. Huge parry going to come out here. CDY has had some really great parries coming through so far. As we've seen, he got the fist kill earlier, bringing the fist around. We're going to see the ultimate coming out now, as if he's able to hit himself a little target infinite with his Hung Sword, we're going to see the ultimate get canceled. He's got to be very strategic with how he uses that ultimate. He does have his soul here. Doesn't want to lose that purple Hung Sword though, especially when you're playing Tarka. That's not something you want to lose. F ability invested for Chu Zhang now. And the Scale Rushes are going to come into play. The Buttery Rocks are definitely not the place that you want to be. And the Justino ult is going to come out. This could be very dangerous for CDY. He needs to get out of here fast. You're going to see the first freeze coming through. Brings it back around. CDY is actually going to get the connect onto the overhold here. Both of these are going to come through, but the 1-2 is going to be no match for CDY as he catches the 1, finishes off on the 2. Bao does Chu Zhang picking up another elimination, sitting at 7th place on the board. JL's AS with the needs the 11-point game, is unable to connect onto anything here, as he's trying to go for this elimination, but Wu Fong is putting in a lot of work already in this game. JL's AS is already on 2 eliminations. If he's able to pick up 8 more with the first place finish, I think he needs exactly minimum. He needs about 7 eliminations with the first place finish to get that multiplier. 7-8 eliminations with the first place finish is going to give him the points he needs to pass that 32.5 threshold. Right now he's aiming at 23 as the Rowan Yang is starting to drop. DRG's Wufong now joining the mix of this fight, sending some musket shots off. JL's AS just relentless, trying to come away with this elimination. Wufong getting absolutely eaten alive, and now Fong joining in the mix. You see the fan in his hand. He's ready to go. He's amped up for this fight. Wants to see if he can try and pick up an elimination here, but he needs this kill. Both of these players need eliminations really badly, and it looks like AS could become the target of this fight very soon. Nothing going on too much. Nobody wanting to get hyper committed because everything is on the line for all of these players. Oh my goodness, CDY into the Tarkal trying to make something happen. Looks like he's just going to have to cancel and back off though.
Yeah, it's definitely not in the best interest to get this aggressive. Definitely have to play it a little bit more smart, working with certain different things and just trying to play it smart. For a lot of different reasons here, most likely. Let's see if Fong's going to be able to get inside here. I'm interested in terms of why Edward didn't necessarily take advantage of that with Fong, but they're all going to go inside here. They're going to try to see if they can adapt to at least getting some decent stuff inside. Curious if anybody's going to take advantage of it. Looks like AS is going to surprise Fong, trying to see if he can get a jump start on some of that, but not enough. Going to be able to get him outside of the cave as AS decides to heal up. Tries to get some stuff in here, trying to see if he can find some goodies. He's like, hey, listen, there's enough room for the both of us. We ain't got to fight this out if you don't want to. You're doing a little too much. I'm just trying to see if I can find something good. Here you are hating. Don't hate on me, because I just want something good. He ends up getting caught, though, by the poison spray. And now Fong has to go for the retreat. Trying not to get caught in a tough situation here. Ends up getting hit, though, by the blade. Looks like that was a katana. It looks like he's going to pop the ulti here. And that's where most of the time people start to scatter a little bit here. But AS wants this fight here. He wants to keep this going here. Justina, he pops the ulti here. Could potentially catch him with the freeze, possibly. But between both of them, both absolute maneuvering rogues, it's not going to be easy to see if any of them is going to be able to catch it, but he's mostly using it just for maneuvering and just trying to get out of there. as AS is just right on him. He's not giving him much of an opportunity here for him to truly catch up to him. Oh, he almost catches him. He hits him with the fan, though. Nice little blue LMB strike. He's going to be able to catch him inside of the corner. Oh, Fung is able to get out. Goes right back inside.
Oh my god, no way he escapes like this. No way he escapes like this. Okay, AS is going to find him. Get out of there, Fong. Get out of there. Your finals are on the line. Get out of there. Reset. Get a pod. Get a pod. Come on. Oh my goodness. We're watching his life flash before our eyes right now. The advanced heal going to come in super clutch here as S1 CDY has found him, the person who eliminated him at the start of the game, and nobody letting Fong try anything to come away victorious in this fight here. And it looks like he has found Mike. Everybody sharking in onto this fight here. It looks like Edward now jumping into the mix. We didn't even get to see any of our Realm of Yang fights, as DRG's Fong's life a lot more important right now than anybody who could have possibly entered into this Realm of Yang. Shaw and Lipo both tried to do it, did not succeed. Xu Zhang also losing that Realm of Yang fight. It looks like Alliance was able to get a victory. So Aizhao, WZ's Arano, was able to make something happen there as well. And OA's Edward, Big Eddie, came through with a victory in the Realm of Yang. And now SS1 CDY trying to make something happen onto Edward, able to get the LMB prio off, but is unable to connect on the full combo due to the F ability from Edward. And now the scale rushes are coming through. CDY needs to get a reset off here, though. Otherwise, he's going to get sharked in on, exactly like we predicted, chat. AS coming through, trying to make something happen. CDY now in the tough position of getting eliminated by all these other players. Now we're seeing all of the... Oh no, he's done. He's done. He's out here. He's going to get caught by the ball. The poison
does get caught. Unfortunately, in this situation here, I mean, it's too early for that, but knowing he was 19 points in, I mean, there was pretty much no way. It's the same thing with Shaw, too. I don't think Shaw has an opportunity here as AS. 2 eliminations deep so far. Fong still has 0 eliminations, but he is just survival mode at this point. All he has to do is just stall and wait for other players to get eliminated, and he is qualified. That's all that he really has to do in this moment. He doesn't have to force any fights if he doesn't have to. He can grieve people if he really wants to, but now it's just the waiting game for Fong. I think Fong is going to decide to take a step back, and it's probably the smartest thing that he can do in this moment here.
Oh, Fong gets a kill here. Fong gets his first elimination, which is going to put him at 32.3 points. He still hasn't qualified, ladies and gentlemen. He's at 32.3. He's 0.2 points away from beating out YGG, which means if he gets eliminated next, he is not going to be qualified for the finals. This is going to be an interesting one to how it goes down. Like, he was so close to getting eliminated. He got killed by a Tarka slap in the first couple of seconds of the game. TE's Wufong is going to get the elimination onto Gigi Shaw, eliminating him from the game. And before second Realm of Yang has dropped, there's only 6 players left in this game. You know how we do it. Game number 6, we clean it up quickly. These players want to go home. They want to know who's playing in the finals and who's not as fast as possible. And by game number 6, they're ready for it. We're going to be taking a look. OA's Edward jumping onto JL's AS. We're going to see the jabbing come out. Parry attempt going to come through from AS, but not able to connect even the second time. So we are going to see now Edward going to be able to get that Yang pass away from JL's AS. There are 7 players, actually, ladies and gentlemen. We had 1 person in soul form from their buff from the Realm of Yang, as we're going to see. Oh, almost catches the combo off of that parry punish there. The F ability saving Edward for a second, but catches him in the air here. You're going to see AS and Edward going at it. JL's AS needs these eliminations. Cannot afford to go out lightly like this. He needs to get, if he gets all 6 of the eliminations that he could possibly get, plus 1 elimination in the Realm of Yang, so 7 kills, bringing him up to 9 eliminations with a multiplier and the first place finish, there's a chance he could pass everyone. But DRG's Funk wouldn't be allowed to get another elimination. So, you know, that kill where he almost gets the elimination onto AS earlier would have been absolutely insane. But we're going to see. It looks like he's going to try and find somebody else. If he finds Fong and takes him out here, that could be
insane grief. Insane grief.
Yeah.
Griefing wouldn't even tally up what a grief would feel like if AS eliminated Fong in this game. But like I said, Fong is probably one of the most unpredictable players and has so many initial, just has so much versatility in some of this. I mean, look at this. Even immediately, he's just like, boy, what are you doing? Let me get my loot first before you start wanting to fight up in here and start hogging everything. Now, here we go. Let's see if Fong still got it. With everything that's happening, both of them are going to be able to scale rush this up here a little bit more, even if all Fong has to do is still wait this out, though. He still will be able to gain the points if he stays alive here. Now it's not looking good, though, as AS is going to get absolutely juggled by both of them here. AS is able to pop the ulti here, and he is able to successfully get away, though. Got real lucky here in that. He ends up going back up the roof. Oh, no, he gets caught. Gets caught from the bottom section of the roof, too. Almost had an opportunity here maybe to close this out, but not enough here. Fong is just going to try to close in this gap little by little here. Make it a little bit harder for him to be able to close in this gap. Trying to take it out. Here we go. Nice little dagger to connect it. He's going to be able to scale rush this all the way up. Runs this all the way down, going around this top tower here, just trying not to get caught, knowing that Mike is right around the corner. It's not going to make this easy for anybody here to really capture this, as Mike is just not going to give up here. He's going to take his time. Mike missing out on some of their opportunity hits. Here comes the grapple. It looks like I'm most likely assuming it's from Fong, as Fong is here. It looks like AS is able to just consistently get away. Looks like we still have some players inside of the realm of Yang here, so most likely we'll end up going into the realm of Yang. Let's check back here on this fight, see if anything changes. Knowing that AS still maneuvering, moving. Just trying not to stand still for too long here in this fight. This is the tough one here. Ooh.
Yeah, it is very tough. AS becoming the target of the lobby is just... It's just not the greatest place to be right now, especially when you're trying to climb and get 7 eliminations. We've got TE's Wufeng on Yang depletion, so we might see some aggression coming through there. AS getting extremely low now. Harry's going to come out trying to see if he can make a last-ditch effort. F ability is going to get popped. We're seeing Mike popping that ultimate now. DRG's Feng needs to make something happen if he wants to get this elimination, because Mike, hot in pursuit. Ultimate almost back online for JL's AS. He's going to see the purple armor, gets the swap, saving him from that final slash, giving him just enough time to get his ultimate back. This is some picture perfect scenarios that are going. Oh my goodness, Starfall in Pro League. Starfall into engraving. Tries it a second time here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness, Fong gets the kill. He qualifies. Ladies and gentlemen, DRG's Fong is going to be our 12th place position. Actually, ASU's XY will be the 12th place spot. But oh my god, Starfall for the victory. What a
insane
play. Like, that is insanity.
Insane.
I don't know what I'm
couldn't have been any
right
better. Absolutely insane, though, if you really were to look at that, the way that was. That timing couldn't have been any better, but also very favorable towards Fong here, which really wanted to just stay alive through this. And now this is just a massive chase-off between Mike and everyone else in the lobby. It's a 1v5 currently, and he's just trying to dip away from this. Let's see if Mike can do it. I currently think that he can. Place your bets, chat, in chat, if he can actually get away from this. Never mind.
Place your bets. Bets here. Bets are closed. Thank you, guys. Good night, everybody.
And bets are off. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
As DRG's Fong still battling it out. I believe he knows that he has made it in to the finals there. He's probably got somebody telling him that he has made it in, but we're going to see him try his best still. Oh, what a Kylan slash coming through, getting him so much HP back there. These buttery rocks lining these players up and just sending them into as much as possible damage. And Fong is now on the back foot, though. He's going to try and scale, but we know that Fong is one of the goats of this fan movement here. Look at him go. Scale rush, scale rush, scale rush, scale rush, scale rush. As he goes a ring around the rosy with everybody. Nobody is going to catch him here, as Edward going to try and make a play towards him. The engraving coming out from that gold longsword is just dealing so much damage. Fong trying to make something happen. It looks like Edward's going to focus his aggression over to Arano, as he's going to send off that longsword 1.0, and Fong already back to full HP. Here we go. This is the guy. Spider wasn't able to do it, but Fong definitely a master of this movement. when it comes to the fan. We've seen him kite out for ages on these buttery rocks, and that's where he's going to be. He's going to hang out there, top 5. He's qualified. He's even qualified over ASE's XY at 33.5 points. He's got himself to 33.8. XY finished the game with a donut, so he's going to be finishing in 12th place. And I don't believe there's anybody left in this game who hasn't qualified, so it really is just going to come down to how the placements are going to go, because we do see Feng and Wufeng very, very close in the scoring together. Aizhao could fall down if he does go out early compared to these other players. Arano doesn't really have the possibility to get himself higher. He's already in 3rd place. Second place is at 53 points, so he doesn't have that possibility, but always Edward does have the opportunity to pass BBE's Frostovus and WZ's Arano if he does have the perfect game. It really depends. But, ladies and gentlemen, these are going to be your qualified players for the bi-weekly finals.
I mean, obviously set in stone here, as we already know. Mike getting eliminated, he ends up taking the lead at 9.6. Very solid performance from him overall in his last couple of days of playing the game. You know, obviously being last season's champion, really holding strong here. Now Fong, at this point, it's just about who's getting extra points. Who's just doing this for the fun of it, for the love of the sport, for the love of the game. Azao, Wufeng, and Fong, all of them qualifying here, and sadly, with YZG, Wolves, AS, and CDY. Both of them sadly out of contention. Edward qualifying as well with a 45.4 points and 4 eliminations top. Obviously popping it out very, very well for a lot of different areas here. Was able to really showcase it towards the very end. Did a fantastic job.
Oh yeah, they've all been playing perfectly here. And Fong able to clinch those 2 points where at the start of the game it looked like it might not have been possible. Wufeng is going to be able to get himself a soul bloom with, I think he just had a second left on that timer there as Aizhao picks up the elimination. Wufeng had 1 second left on that Yang depletion, was able to cleanse it. Edward with the Staff Soul Jade, Merciless Havoc, going to be able to put in a lot of work for him, as we are going to see as well. We've got the Fan Jade coming through, and nobody is going to be safe from these gold Soul Jades. WZ's Arano is actually going to get himself parried here, but he is getting that Wild Wind Sprout back with the gold fan in hand, trying to send it out, holding blue, but Edward going to be sending out that 1.8 here, or 1.9, depending, trying to see if he can get the elimination off onto one of these players. Aizhao able to get himself a bit of healing, and always Edward with the Liam ultimate. Best value here on his ult. Going to try and see if he can get a pick. Arano has become his target. He sees the lower HP on the health bar. Going to be able to catch him. Oh my goodness. If the F ability wasn't invested there, the combo would have been insane. Trying to see if he can make that grab from a distance. Looks a little bit more difficult than it is, ladies and gentlemen. Is Edward trying to see if he can get the grab. He does. But, the ultimate runs out. I was going to say, why did he not get grabbed out there? The ultimate is going to run out of time for him there, as he does have another ult. He's going to be able to pick up. Oh my goodness. That's Wufeng almost getting juggled into that Bane. And now 50 seconds left of this Bane to go. We're going to see Engraving coming through, but Wild Wind Sprout going to back the other way. Wufeng trying to send that parry punish. That he gets the parry onto Arano, over to Edward, doesn't connect with it, and now they're both on, all of them on the low ground. This could be dangerous, especially when there's a Bane's Breath bursting that way. Edward trying to go for that parry, unable to connect with that. Engraving going to connect, jump LNB into another Engraving. F ability going to send Wufeng flying, as always Edward just really trying to get this hit. And now we're going to see all ultimates connected. Jacina ultimate coming out. We're going to see Edward just getting absolutely blitzed out of his HP right now. Lonnie F invested, trying to send the ball out. Top dodge coming through. Edward on 1 HP and a dream tease. Wufeng picking up the elimination. And now the Soul Bloom going to Wufeng again. Arano trying to make something happen. Wufeng still all 3 charges left on his ultimate, so if he wants to get attacked, he's able to. Now's the time. He's going to send the 1-2s out. The double grab from Arano from out of nowhere. Everyone going to go for the reset now as 3 players remain. Game number 6.
Wait, why was that so clean? Like that double was insane because we didn't actually know who got it, but then the camera turned. It was like such a like anime arc moment. It was just like, oh my God, he's got them both. So that was actually really cool to see. Now, as we're able to look back towards this, Arano, Azal, and Fong at the very last seconds of the fight, and at this point, it's basically a cat and mouse game. All of them gonna be chasing each other, going back and forth for, let's see who's gonna be the official. Me personally, I think Azal might be the one who ends up catching another dub. Which means this will be a three-peat. I think it'd be glorious and possibly a good feeling for him as well. I could be wrong though, as I might have called it maybe a little too soon into this fight, knowing that he just got absolutely obliterated into this as he sees Wufong. Oh, he ends up actually just continuing to just put in so much damage towards him as well here. Not giving him much an opportunity here as he does end up catching him with the shield swap, and Azal catches that insane elimination. He does capture the shield, and now here we go. He catches him on the outskirts. He's gonna be able to push him right back out. Both of them waiting with the blue MMBs on both sides. The stun is gonna be able to capture it, at least on each side here. Waiting for the parry. Both of them missing on each side here. Arano ends up catching the juggle from Azal. Azal might be able to get himself being pushed from the outskirts. Almost really close here, but not fully. He ends up going for the downstrike. The LMP is able to capture it. I don't know what Arano was doing here, but Azal ends up clutching it. I literally called it. I called it and clutched it.
Oh my goodness.
Unbelievable. The switch up coming through from Azal in that very last moment here, catching him a three-peat in this game and shuts down the last two for him to have a solid night and for him to know that he qualified